Welcome to Cienega High School for Thursday night's primetime matchup game of the week. It's a battle here in the desert in Vail, Arizona between the Salpointe Catholic Lancers and the Cienega Bobcats. Salpointe 1-0 in the season. The Bobcats of Cienega 1-1 after their Week 2 victory at Sierra Vista Buena. Jason Miller along with Liam Guthrie. Liam, what are we expecting here tonight?
Well, Salpointe's going to be tough opposition for the Bobcats tonight. In the past, these two teams have had quite the rivalry going, and I think we'll see that again. Cienega's doing well this season, along with Salpointe. Salpointe's only played one game, but they did exceptional in that one game they've played.
Very good. We can expect fireworks here tonight. We're going to go down to our field reporters, Reagan Scott and Neveah Fisher, down on the field. Girls.
Salpointe Catholic is well coached, coming off a 56-0 win against CDO. The Lancers are also coming off their bye week, which means they should be well rested for tonight's game against Cienega. Trayson Bourget is the player to look out for the Salpointe Catholics. Bourget is a very strong and well-rounded player. Trayson has two older brothers that have previously played at Salpointe Catholic, one as a quarterback and one as a wide receiver. The Bourget family has won many national championships in 7-on-7 Tucson turf teams. Trayson has an NFL mindset and a high school body. Think Peyton Manning or Tom Brady when it comes to comparison for how strong Bourget is reading at defenses and picking apart the plays.
For Cienega, the Cats are coming off a big win, 35-7 against Buena. The Bobcat defense the Bobcat defense was strong, forcing 3 turnovers and a pick 6 from Cole McFarland and Elias Santana. Those are 2 Cats to keep your eye on. Richie McCormick also played both ways, scoring 2 touchdowns rushing and led the Bobcats in tackles with 10. Braden, the quarterback, found his rhythm, managing the game efficiently, throwing a touchdown pass. Look for the Bobcat defense to show a variety of defenses, bring pressure, and try to limit Trayson Bourget. Guys, back to you.
All right, very good. A nice debut from our sideline reporters, Reagan Scott and Neveah Fisher, making their debut on Bobcat TV. Well, Liam Guthrie, it's easy to say to try to contain Trayson Bourget and to try to confuse him with different blitz packages and different coverage systems, try to disguise blitzes. But he is a very seasoned quarterback as a senior. So starting since his sophomore year when he transferred from Marana to Salpointe, a full season of games as a junior last year, taking his team all the way to the state semifinals where they came up short. So now as a senior. So we expect him to be poised and polished. And we heard Reagan Scott compare him to a couple of great NFL all-time quarterbacks, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. So she said that he has the NFL mindset in the body of a high school player. So I think we'll see that play out here tonight. The key for Cienega is to try to disrupt him and not to give him time to throw, because if he has time to throw, he will pick apart that Bobcat defense tonight.
Exactly. As she said, that he's coming from a high school from a football family. It runs in the family, so he's going to have this training from not just his parents, but his older brothers, his coaches. He's a machine, that's for sure.
Yeah, and his older brothers. So Trenton Bourget is the oldest. He played quarterback and excelled at a high level at Marana. We've got captains coming in who will come back to the Bourgets momentarily. So for Salpointe, it's number 3, Trayson Bourget. Number 10, Cody Reitzman. Number 21, Anthony Wilhite. And number 53, who I believe is Jace Springer. So those are the captains from the Salpointe Catholic Lancers. For the Bobcats, going left to right, it's number 22, Richie McCormack. Number 10, Josiah Parker. Number 32, Cole McFarland. And number 56, Garrett Montgomery. So the Cats, a quartet of seniors out there at captains. Huge game here tonight, Liam. We've got a little bit of a breeze going here, so if you're looking at your screens at home, it's going lower right corner to kind of middle of the screen. It's going kind of right to left, and it's swirling a little bit, and it's picking up. So that could be a factor that might play into Cienega's favor tonight if the winds and the blustery conditions here make it difficult for Trayson Bourget to throw that football down the field. But back to the Bourgets. So Trenton Bourget was a great quarterback at Marana, and then younger brother Coben was a wide receiver at Marana, and then they transferred to Salpointe. Trayson, the quarterback, the senior here tonight, also transferred, and his sister Ryland Bourget I mean, we're talking about bloodlines here. Ryland won 2 state titles last year. She won the girls volleyball state championship at Salpointe Catholic, and she won a soccer state championship for that dynamite Salpointe Lancers ladies soccer squad. So just complete athletes from top to bottom, and their dad is a great coach. We are going to pause here just for a moment as we have the presentation of colors, and we'll stay tuned for the Star Spangled Banner, our national anthem. Back in just a minute right here on Bobcat TV. Oh, this is great. So you've got the student section at Cienega High School chanting USA, so that's wonderful to see. We have the Navy Junior ROTC from Cienega High School. They are nationally acclaimed and ranked and recognized under the great leadership and direction of Commander George Murga and Master Sergeant Willie Jordan. So there goes the color guard, and what a great job that they do. They're always out here, Liam. They're at all the high school events, and they go to middle school, elementary events, and community events, and they're always presenting colors. So that crew is always busy, and it's always great to see them out here getting things set off on the right foot. So we will see how things shake out here tonight. The Lancers of Salpointe Catholic all in white, and they have their crimson helmets, and the Bobcats with the blue jerseys, the white pants, and the white helmets. And Salpointe on set to return here, and getting set to return is #1, Antonio Martinez. So the senior, #1, is their wide receiver, #2, and he has blistering speed. Getting set to kick off for the Bobcats is Brinley Lorenko, their Sterling senior place kicker, #25, with those neon pink shoes, which you can't miss, and of course the ponytail out the back of the helmet for the lady soccer star, young lady here who is superb as a place kicker. And here's the kickoff, a bit of a squib kick here. Takes a wicked hop, and it's fielded at the 20-yard line. Out across the 25 to the 30, down to the 32. It's #15 on the return. So I don't have 15, so I don't know exactly who that is.
As you said, Brinley Lorenko, kicker for Cienega. She's a soccer star, so you knew that she's going to be a natural at this. And even though that ball did not go in the air, it took a bad hop, making it difficult for Salpointe to field it.
Yes, very unconventional kickoffs. So, but a Sterling place kicker, so a factor potentially late in the game, especially if the game is close. Well, here's Trayson Bourget. So all the superlatives that you can think of and more. Last week, 12 for 16, 75% completion percentage, and 4 touchdowns. Wide open formation, Bourget back to throw. And he runs into the arms of big Brody Coleman, #83. So Brody there with a tackle, and Bourget gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I think that's going to be Cienega's main strategy tonight, is making sure that Bourget cannot pass that ball. That is the only way to stop him, because if he throws it, it's almost always going to be complete.
Absolutely. Try to put pressure on him as much as you can. Bourget back to throw, connects out into flat to left side. Nice catch there with room to go out in space, out across midfield, and going down the sideline for big yardage to the 30-yard line. So a gain of 38 on the reception by Antonio Martinez from Trayson Bourget. That was a simple check down. So the receivers that were out in space were covered, and it was a little pass to the flats to Martinez. A nice catch and run there. And Salpointe moves the chains, and now they're clicking early here. 1st and 10 for the Bobcat 30-yard line.
Salpointe already showing us that if they can get it, they can run it.
They're going to throw, and throwing will open up the run game for them. Little play action here. Now he's tossing down the sideline. Leaping catch, and a great catch, but it's just out of bounds. So it was just a little fly pattern there, going down the
And we're at 2nd and 10, Lancers.
So that's a mystery for us. We'll figure it out. 2nd down here. Little pass goes to the flat near side. Nice catch by Will Height, but a good tackle there. And oh, that's big number 56, Garrett Montgomery. He's a monster on the D-line.
Salpointe stumbled a little bit right there, but if they had got that running, who knows what could have happened. It was a good note by the Cienega to be able to note that and then go straight in for the tackle.
Anthony Wilhite, 21, is a single setback. He's a runner to look out for. 4 wideouts, 2 near side, 2 far side. Bourget comes near side. Receiver catches it out in space across the 20-yard line, very close to the 1st down marker. He's signaling 1st down. That's Gage Felix on the reception.
Laser pass right there by Bourget. And again, if he can get back to pass, then he can get it there.
Well, you can tell that Bourget is completely comfortable here in a wide open offense, throwing the ball all across the field and kind of sharing the wealth. Distribution here of passes. Will Height on the run goes right side. He's stacked up, but not before he picks up 6, maybe 7 on that 1st down carry.
Very good run right there. Cienega having trouble taking him down. Made it further than a lot of others would have made.
Got a penalty here. Well, it's a sideline warning, so already on the 1st possession, the flag comes out here by the head linesman.
There's a rivalry between these two.
Damien Orozco, 77, also in.
Actually, 2nd and 3 now here. So 2nd down and 3 after the sideline warning. Runner comes in motion near side, and there's a whistle for a false start. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty going against the Lancers. The officiating crew for tonight, the referee is Jeff Bell. The umpire is Bob Bertagnoli. The head linesman is James Sims. The linesman is Matt Kruger. And the back judge is BJ Fogeltans. There's your officiating crew out here tonight. Very professional crew on a beautiful night. It's gotten nice and cool when the sun went down. And again, the wind's picking up here a bit. So a bit blustery down in Vale. 2nd down and 8. Handoff goes to Will Height right side, making his way through. And there's the tackle on the play by the Bobcats, Garrett Montgomery.
Good run right there. And you could see against the game that Salpointe played against Canyon Del Oro that Will Height was already going to be a force to be reckoned with. He was running those yards in that game.
Yes, sir. 3rd down and 1. Play action. Bourget keeps it, and he threads his way through for a touchdown. So he was in the grasp momentarily, and then Bourget just knifes his way through traffic, threading his way kind of delicately and also with purpose. So 9 yards on the touchdown run by Trayson Bourget.
Pressure play right there. You can see that Bourget thought about passing it, knew no one was open, and just decided to go for it.
Well, Bourget is a dual threat. So in week 1, they had a bye last week, but 6 carries, 69 yards, averaging 11.5 yards per carry. And here comes Carson Fisk, number 61, to attempt the extra point. And it's no good. Actually, that was Owen Lynch. So Owen Lynch, who also punts for Salpointe, misses the extra point. But the Lancers strike first here on a very impressive opening drive. Trayson Bourget punctuating it with a 9-yard touchdown run.
As we said, the wind is sort of against Salpointe right now. So maybe that kick was just caught by the wind. Never can tell.
It may have been. You're absolutely right, Liam. So the wind is blowing from right to left. and it may have pushed that ball wide left. So a failed conversion attempt, yet the Lancers striking first. And they're going to kick off here to the Cats. The Bobcats have a pair of receivers set to return. Gunnar Hernandez, number 7, and number 2, Elias Santana. So a pair of seniors back there with great speed. Santana as a playmaker. We'll see if the Cats have something that they're going to draw up here on the return. And now we've got the kickoff here. So we're missing some players on this roster. So number 40 on the kickoff. And this one will go into the end zone. Well, maybe the 1-yard line, but here goes Elias, and he slipped. He lost his wheels there. I'm sure his mind was thinking, I'm going to go here, I'm going to zig, 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 and zag. But his feet couldn't catch up with his mind, so he wiped out on the turf. But a good little return there. But you see that speed and that burst there from Santana. He has blistering speed and quickness.
I agree. I think he was just overthinking it, trying to look for a way to get out of the pressure that he was in.
And probably a little jitters here tonight, Liam. Let's be honest. This is a big-time matchup on a Thursday night with two power schools in 5A, in the 5A South or 5A Southern Conference.
Exactly. Home opener against a team that has, in the past, has been very difficult for us to beat.
Braden Cherry at quarterback here, makes a little pitch out to the left side. It's Cole McFarland. McFarland was doubled there. It was number 10 and 22. So Cody Reitzman and Davian Miranda Carrasco. Miranda Carrasco is a player to watch out for, number 22 from Salpointe. Big-time tackler, also very disruptive as a linebacker who can blitz and put some tackle for loss and some pressure on the quarterback. So gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Good from Cole McFarland right there. He had the ball. He also does track and field, so if he can get it and if he can get out of South Pointe's defensive line, then he can run it.
That's right, if you can get him out in space. And he's lined up here near side as a receiver. A trio of wideouts to the far side. Braden Cherry, open backfield here in the pistol. Cole goes in motion, fakes the handoff, and Braden keeps it, and it takes a pretty withering hit there on his backside. So you don't want to see a quarterback kind of twisting and turning and kind of exposing himself, which is what Braden did right there. So he took a lick to his back, but he pops up very quickly. And now he comes to the sideline to talk to his offensive coordinator, Lewis Nightingale. So Nightingale, a bit of a legend in coaching in Tucson circles, had great success at Santa Rita High School in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he is Justin Argraves' offensive coordinator. So now it's 3rd down and 7 yards to go. A trio of wideouts flanked to the right, and McFarland out here to the left. Nobody back there to pass protect for Cherry. We'll see a Salpointe blitzes. And they do, and no time there. He was trying to connect with C.J. Handgartner, a little bit low on the throw, but again, not much time. And back there in nice coverage was number 11, Mason Sanchez, the junior cornerback from Salpointe. Brings up 4th down for the Bobcats.
You can tell nerves are high for both teams, and that is definitely affecting the game. But I think once both teams get into the rhythm of this, they'll both be able to get out of it, and it'll end up working out for hopefully at least one team.
So a bit of an uneven start here for the Bobcats. Ethan Shockmall, 55, the punter, is getting set to blast one here. And set to return Antonio Martinez at his own 35. Martinez catches and runs out across midfield to the 45. He's popped by 3 Bobcats. Let's see, it looks like it was 8 and 51 for the Cats. So Spezio Gonzalez is number 8. 51 is River Reese. So River and Spezio combining on the tackle, but the Lancers with excellent field position at the Bobcat 45-yard line.
Good running for the Lancers tonight already. And maybe that might be their strong suit tonight. Their offense may prove to be the factor that lets them win tonight.
They have big size there, so they're known for their offensive lines, like historically. They've got some great double-A beef there on the offensive front. Bourget on the quarterback keeper, hits the edge, and he's tackled by Brody Kalman. So Kalman's been very active here at the right defensive end. He and Nolan Baker are bookends, right and left defensive end, and the Cats will substitute defensive linemen. You see number 70, Gio Tobias coming in to sub in, and he spells Bobcat 77, Damian Orozco. So Orozco out, Gio in, handoff, snap for a moment, but Will Height breaks free. And he picks up enough for a 1st down. So a gain of about 13 on the play. And the ball's at the 30-yard line. So he was in the grass for just a moment. We saw earlier as well, Trayson on his touchdown run was momentarily in the grasp of a defensive lineman, but able to wriggle free with some power and some squirming. So we saw that there as well.
even at the Copper Navy game, you could tell Cienega's defense was going to be strong, but Salpointe has such good offense tonight, and they're able to run it through even those tight plays.
I think their experience is a big factor. Play action here. Trayson surveys the field. Now he goes to the far corner. Elias almost had the interception. So Santana there was vulturing, made a great play to break that one up. The intended target was Gage Felix. That ball fluttered a little bit there. Again, I think the wind was a factor.
Exactly. It's really picked up at this point.
That would
Close.
have been a huge lift for the Cats.
Very close, yes. Huge advantage for the Cats, that's for sure. Close play right there.
So Jason Miller and Liam Guthrie here on the call tonight on Bobcat TV. 2nd down and 10 for Salpointe. Trayson Bourget surveys the defense in the pistol. A little bit of movement there on the front. And we have a call here for a false start on that slot receiver who was near side. He just kind of twitched a little bit there, trying to get off his line.
I think the refs know that there's some tension between these teams, and they're not allowing any layaway.
Well, I think another big factor, we're looking at a Salpointe Lancers team that, number one, has massive size. So 72, 71, 65, 53, and 78 across that offensive front. Those are some big boys. But they also have great experience. They played a full slate of games last year, including going all the way to the state semifinals. The Bobcats had 2 games last year, and they were shut down because of COVID-19 for the rest of the way. So the Cats are largely inexperienced at this varsity level. Huge advantage for Salpointe. Will Height runs into his own lineman, now bounces it out to the far side, picks up about 10, maybe 12 on the play, and tackled eventually by Josiah Parker. So JoJo, number 10, as his teammates call him affectionately, there on the tackle, the senior safety. One of the captains for the Cats. So again, the captains, Elias Santana, number 2, Josiah Parker, number 10, Richie McCormick, number 22, and number 56, Garrett Montgomery, your quartet of captains for the Cats. 3rd down and 3. Big play here. Will Height running to the left. He's reaching, he's lunging, and it's going to depend on the spot here.
Very close right there.
It is very close. We'll see where the ball is placed. So it's 4th and very short. I think Salpointe's going to go for it here. Nothing to lose.
So, as you said, Will Height was just looking for all the yards he could get right there.
About a half yard to go on 4th and 1. Bourget hands off to Will Height. Will Height, I think, made it forward on that second effort. There was a cat there early, but Will Height was able to knife and lunge forward. And we'll see where the spot is.
Will Height,
well, how about that?
Very good at evading the tackle, right? Already, you can see that. First quarter, already gotten out of some sticky situations.
Well, the Cats last week were bend but don't break, especially in the first half at Sierra Vista Buena. And they were able to kind of weather the storm, and they got better as the game progressed. Justin Argraves, the head coach in year 1 at Cienega, is known for his defense. So he's his own defensive coordinator, and he kind of put his stamp on last week's game. That defense, very impressive, generating turnovers, a couple of pick sixes, a fumble recovery, and able to neutralize what Buena was doing on offense. Now the Cats have to start mustering and gaining some momentum on their own offensive side. Cherry in the pistol, and it's a handoff here up the middle, and maybe 2 yards on the carry. And it's Richie McCormick. So we have the Mac attack, number 22, Richie McCormick, who is number 22. And then you have Cole McFarland, number 32. That's the tandem that the Bobcats will rely on most heavily in running the football tonight.
Exactly. As you said, Salpointe's defensive line they have big guys. You know, they're very muscular. They've got the blocking ability. But Cienega's defensive line, they're maneuverable. They know if they're using deception tactics, they can move around.
Absolutely. 2nd and 8. Braden Cherry in the pistol. Looking to throw here near side. Nice catch in the flat by the Bobcats 18, Gavin Peterson. So Peterson had a touchdown last week. 2 catches for 26 yards on the season and a touchdown. His touchdown came on a play action, a little bit of fade route. So he kind of like faked the post and then cut it back to the corner. And it was a beautiful play action pass late in the 4th quarter against Buena. So there he is picking up a big one here in traffic. So good job to hold on to the football. And Braden Cherry here starting to click early. So 1st down Cats at their own 35-yard line. Handoff goes to Richie McCormick near side. Got 4 or 5 Lancers there, all flocking to him.
tried to go right through the middle, and I think Cienega will eventually, they're going to think we can't do this anymore. Because Salpointe, it's like a funnel. You get in there, they've all got you.
Not a lot of space to maneuver with those wide bodies that they've got out there.
Yeah, it's
so
a tight line.
I'm looking at 52 Jay Springer, 53 number 95 Elijah Rushing, 6'5", 220. There's some massive girth there on that defensive front for the Lancers. 2nd down and 8. The Bobcats have 2 wideouts to the far side. Play action pass. Oh, Cherry's under pressure, and he takes a hit at the 30. The sack on the play is by Cruz Rushing. So Cruz with the sack. But Cherry's taking a couple of tough licks here, again, to the back, right? So you don't want your quarterback to be exposed and taking these hard shots. But he had no place to go.
Exactly. Cienega, I think Cienega's defensive line is still used to Buena, and they've got different tactics at Salpointe for sure. They need to back up and defend a little bit more, I think. And that's not what they were doing at Buena.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we've got 3 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. Salpointe on top 6-0. It was Trayson Borgate, a 9-yard touchdown run on the delayed quarterback draw. Cats have 2 wideouts to the top, 1 on the bottom. Braden back to throw under pressure. He launches this one near side, nearly in and out of the hands of Jimmy Diaz. Great coverage provided there by Antonio Martinez, who was lockstepped with him all the way down. A little timing route there, but Cherry dropped the ball right where it needed to go, so that's encouraging if you're a Bobcat fan.
Exactly. It's become sort of a stalemate at this point, and maybe Salpointe's initial touchdown was, just start of the game luck, because these teams are pretty evenly matched already. I can tell. It's the line of scrimmage has stayed at the same point on the field for most of the first quarter at this point.
So Cats now trying to run some field position. And here's Ethan Shockmill. He'll hope to get a good bounce here. This one's over the head, so perfect. Off of the receiver, who catches it and now tries to fly. There's River Reese, and a nice tackle by C.J. Handgartner in special teams, and a late flag down. Excellent. Let's see what that penalty is. Handgartner was right there. Also sprinting was David Garcia, but it took a wicked hop, and it was off of Antonio's fingertips, so he kind of misjudged that bounce.
Excellent punt right there. Cienega, one of our main stars here is our kicking. We whether it be Brendan Marenko or anyone, it always takes a bad hop. It's always a good field goal.
Let's see what this penalty is down here with the referees. So it's against Salpointe because they're talking to Cienega's captains here. And I'm waiting for that official signal from the officials down on the field. Here's the official, the referee. So it looks like a block in the back. Jeff Bell, the referee here, gives the signal for us. That backs Salpointe back a little bit, so they're at their own. Let's see where the ball is spotted here. Bob Bertagnoli, the umpire. The venerable umpire places the ball down at the 9-yard line. So 1st and 10, Salpointe for the 9. Nice little break on special teams there. Good punt by Ethan Shockmill to get that bounce off the turf. And the Lancers pinned in their own end.
Exactly.
But Will Height has been deadly at running back here, as Anthony, number 21. Will Height gets the ball going left side, cuts it back to the inside, and picks up 7 on that 1st down carry. There was a great running back for the Broncos of Denver in the early 80s. His name was Gerald Wilhite, and I wonder if they're related. Sometimes we have players from Tucson who are actually related to NFL or Major League players. So, of course, Andre Jackson, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Cienega Bobcat, great player, outfielder and pitcher, number 94. He's probably first and foremost. You also have Nick Gonzalez, the 1st-round pick for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the Pirates organization. All right, handoff goes here right side. And you see Will Height just turning those legs as he picks up 8 and a 1st down. Damian Orozco was wrapped around him, but Anthony Will Height just kept pumping the legs. So in week 1, 12 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is certainly the featured back, 5'10", 175.
Will Height's slippery for sure. Like you said, 78 yards already this season. Very good performance.
And he had to sit behind a great running back, probably Tucson's greatest running back in their history, Bijan Robinson, who stars for the Texas Longhorns now. in the first division in NCAA in the Big 12. Got a timeout here taken by the Cienega Bobcats. So a little bit uneven here. The Bobcats a little bit rough defensively on their opening possession. We've seen Trayson Bourgain, what he can do, throwing the football, picking apart defenses, kind of spreading the ball all over the field. Also making some plays with his wheels. He scored the first touchdown. But Elias Santana nearly had an interception. The Bobcats had some good fortune on a punt on special teams and some great coverage there by C.J. Handgartner. So the Cats are showing some spirit. They've just got to start to find some rhythm on offense to try to eat some clock and move the chains and pick up some first downs and give their defense a little bit of a breather here so that that defense doesn't get fatigued out on the field. Exactly. I think if the Bobcats can hold Salpointe at 6 and then score themselves, then they've got it in the bag, because this is a very even game so far. And it took that amazing punt to push Salpointe back this far. For most of the first quarter, it had been around in between 40 and 30-yard line, and now they've pushed it back to the other side of the field. Bobcats have to figure out how to put some pressure on Bourgain, and it's a double-edged sword. You have Bourgain, who can run or pass, and you also have Anthony Wilhite, who has been superb at running back thus far in the game. So it seems like the more he gets the ball, the more he starts kind of cooking and finding his rhythm. So how do you start to slow them down? How do you apply some pressure and make things difficult for Bourgain? You don't want him back there comfortable sitting in the pocket. First and 10, Lancers, their own 26-yard line. 1:35 on the clock, first quarter. Play action, Bourgain keeps on a bootleg going far side. And there's JoJo Parker to snuff that. He was just reading it patiently. Nice little tackle in open space by Josiah Parker, one of the captains for the Bobcats. Yes, good read right there. And I think if Cienega can get hyped up, like you said, in previous games, they've come back and they've improved over the course of the game. So if they can get hyped up, then I think that they can really start putting the pressure on. Big play to spark themselves and get these fans back in the game. 2nd and 7. The pocket's collapsing, and down he goes. There we go. Looks like that was Nolan Baker on the outside. But let's see here. Actually, that's 44 from the Cats. And that's Josh Consavage. So a savage sack by Josh Consavage. Big play here for the Bobcats. It's 3rd down and 8. They were able to get behind them, use Salpointe's own tactics against them right there. 3rd down and 8. Consavage was dressed to the 9s today. The whole team was dressed to the 9s. Shirts and ties. But Consavage had an especially fresh look here. A couple of those kids looked like they were on the cover of Gentleman's Quarterly GQ. All right, Bourgain, the packet collapses again, and down he goes. Another sack for the Bobcats. Very good for Cienega right there. Again, now they've turned it around. They're using Salpointe's own tactics against them, and they're able to penetrate the line and get to their quarterback. Abram Bury, number 71. Josh Consavage, 44. Consavage lost his hat. His helmet rolled off there too. So he's definitely dialed in. Talked to him early today. I'm like, you ready to go? He's like, I'm ready. I knew he was ready earlier today. This is around 12 o'clock noon. So you imagine, like, for 7 hours just to wait and linger. The anticipation from these student athletes to just try to get in their rhythm, not think too much about it. But the defense here on back-to-back plays here, punctuating the end of the first quarter as the clock expires. And Salpointe will switch sides of the field. But a good flurry there on defense for the Bobcats on successive plays to get a couple of sacks and put some pressure on Bourgain. Exactly, and that's what we were saying. If they can put pressure on the quarterback, then they can withhold them. And I was talking to some of the football players earlier in the week, and they were very confident, even against this team, which has in the past been very difficult for them. And but they had no doubt, many of them. Well, I talked to Coach Argraves, Justin Argraves, in year 1 at Cienega High School. Talked to him earlier today, and he said they had a great week, a short week of practice, right? So it's been a topsy-turvy season, and we're so early in the year. So fans have to be patient here with a new regime, a new system, new terminology, new formation on defense, new terminology on offense, new weapons. You know, last year's team was so talented, it's really a shame that they were deprived of having their senior season, because that was a team that the coaching staff from last year was talking about as having the potential of making a run for the state title. So, exactly. All right, we changed field position. So Salpointe going right to left, Cienega going left to right. The Cats have Elias Santana back to return. And also number 12, Christian Hawkins. Or sorry, that's, yeah, that's number 12, Christian Hawkins. There's Elias Santana to 30. Stutter step, great tackle in open space by Marcus Gonzalez.
Oh.
And somehow Elias was not down. So he's still going here. Miraculously, Santana keeps his feet. Great block downfield by number 11, Jimmy Diaz. That was crazy. I thought he was down.
It was
Liam.
a fumble. It was a fumble, and Cienega was able to
So he
pick it
recovered
back
his
up.
own fumble
Recovered.
and continued to move forward. So
Hey,
Elias,
incredible.
so we're going to give him almost 50 yards on the return. There's a late flag down here. Let's see what this penalty is. And it's an illegal block here going against the Bobcats. So that'll move them back a little bit, but still better than what it was. So I thought he was down. So the fumble was out there. He recovered his own fumble. And we've seen Elias Santana's blistering speed. Last week, the 95 pick-6 interception return for a touchdown. He also ran back a punt, but it was called back because of an illegal block, just like we've seen here. So those Cats have to keep their hands in the proper positions. No blocks in the back. Sometimes Elias is past the rest of the players. So an unfortunate penalty there, sapping a little bit of the juice out of that electrifying run from Santana. So Bertagnoli, I know him going way back. He was a supervisor in the City of Tucson Aquatics Department. I think I was the oldest lifeguard in the City of Tucson, late 90s, early 2000s. So I don't know if he's still doing that, but I would guess he is. Kind of a peach job for the City of Tucson Parks and Recreation Department. Billy Sassy's still the director at Catalina. So a couple of throwbacks for me. It's always good to see those old Cats. So it's 1st and 10. Bobcats with excellent field position at the Lancer 47-yard line. Cherry in the pistol, 2 wide outs near side, handoff, play action. Oh, and Cherry on the bootleg. So he's not the most nimble runner. More of a classic throwback, drop back, pocket passer. And when I see him running the football, he does not look comfortable running the football. So I always worry about him being exposed to big hits.
Exactly. And I think if he can get it to the right person, then Cienega there's no doubt that Cienega can score. But the thing is, Salpointe's putting major pressure on Cienega right now, and they're getting around the line.
Well, Salpointe it's an athlete factory. Let's just be honest here. It's a great academic institution, there's no doubt about it. But the athletics across the spectrum at Salpointe are sublime. And a lot of these players go on to play Division I in all the sports. Quick pass out here, Gunnar Hernandez. Textbook tackle out in space, going low by Antonio Martinez. So Martinez at corner, also starring at wide receiver for Salpointe. Holds his ground and makes a great textbook tackle going low. But Gunnar Hernandez has great hands, so he is one of Braden Cherry's favorite targets in that wide receiving core. Here comes Braden coming out off the sideline, getting the play from Lewis Nightingale, Coach Nightingale. 3rd down and 6, 10:33 on the clock here. 2nd quarter, Salpointe on top, 6-0.
That was a hard tackle against Hernandez right there. But again, like you said, he's got sticky fingers, that's for sure.
Big 3rd down. Karan Watson looks over his shoulder here, so getting some extra communication. And now Braden looks over to the sideline. Braden back to throw. Down the middle, intercepted. It was picked nicely by number 9, who goes across to the 47-yard line. And I don't have a number 9 on my roster, so I'm not sure why I'm missing some of these players. Like, I have 3 or 4 or 5 players who are just not listed, so I apologize for that, but nothing I can do about it. So the Lancers here generating their first turnover of the game.
Hernandez returns the favor right there, getting a tackle in against Salpointe, sacrificing his body by rolling under the feet of the runner.
So you will see this often in high school. Quarterbacks have a tendency to kind of lock into a receiver, and it makes it easier for the defensive backs to know where the ball is going to be delivered. And that was just simply jumping the route. So a great interception by number 9 from Salpointe. The Lancers take over 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. Now they have the wind at their back, so they might be looking to throw here, especially going across the field. And we'll see if they kind of draw anything up here schematically to try to take advantage of the wind conditions. Runner comes in motion, comes around the back here. Little handoff delayed here to Anthony Wilhite. You have some interior pressure there. And it was Spizu Gonzalez who kind of wrapped around the ankles of Anthony Wilhite. Wilhite has been solid here early at running back. the featured running back for the Lancers. 2nd down and 9.
I think the Bobcats are figuring out you have to take out his feet, or because if you try and tackle on top of him, then he just gets out of it.
That's right, and if you wrap him high, he can still pump his legs. We've seen that already tonight. Another one here goes to Anthony Wilhite. Cats here have 3 or 4 who wrap him up, so he'll pick up 3 on the play, and it's 3rd down and 6. It's Josh Savage, 44, so it's always good to see it. Liam, I have so many of these kiddos who are either students of mine presently in my government class or former students from when I taught freshman English. So it's just always great to see some of my own cats out here making plays. Cats like feign blitz, and now they kind of back it up here. Richie McCormack was showing that he was going to apply some pressure, and Spezio Gonzalez was also looking like he was coming to apply some pressure. Now Cole McFarland looks to the sideline for some direction. Trayson surveys the defense. Big 3rd down and 6. High snap. Sets, throws, fires. Pass complete. 1st down and more yards to go here down the far sideline. And a late flag. So 24 yards on the reception. It was number 15, who I don't have a rostered player for. So a 1st down here moves the chains. Now the umpire is talking to the Bobcats, so this penalty will go against Salpointe.
Right there we can see an example we were just talking about. They tried to get on top of his back, and he was able to just run right out of it. Salpointe definitely putting the offensive pressure. They've moved Cienega all the way back to where they originally were.
Let's see what the call is here. So we've got the umpire with the football. We've got the referee, Jeff Bell, who is talking to Matt Kruger, the linesman across the way. Talked to Matt Kruger before the game, just kind of went through the roster. And we'll see how many yards this is pushed back against Salpointe. So the Lancers, under Eric Rogers, their head coach, had an excellent season last year. So they were 7-1. They were perfect until they lost to Chandler in the semifinals, and then Chandler went on to win the state title last year in 5A. And Eric Rogers taking off for one of the legends that we have in Southern Arizona. So when I think of legends in Arizona, I think of Neimer Hassey here at Cienega, I think of Pat Nugent here at Cienega, I also think of Dennis Benet at Salpointe Catholic. So Benet in 20 years, a superlative record as the head coach for the Lancers with multiple state titles.
Exactly.
But we have a new coach here, Eric Rogers, who is also continuing that successful tradition at Salpointe.
I know a few of the coaches at Salpointe, and they take their athletics very seriously.
Oh, yes. It's always good to see Phil Grunsfelder, the athletic director from Salpointe. It was nice. I got a smile from him, so I've known him for 20-plus years, and he's always a little bit frosty. So it's good to see him smiling today here. We shook hands and wished him the best of luck and safe travels. That's like kind of my modus operandi pretty much with everybody. Fans, spectators, athletes, student athletes, trainers, managers, coaches, and athletic directors. So we've got 1st down here for Salpointe at the Bobcat, I was going to say the 40-yard line. And I was also talking to the chain gang. I'm a bit of a chatterbox, Liam, so I was talking to the chain gang before the game too. I know Justin's across the way with his upside-down Los Angeles Dodgers hat, and I think it's Don, who is one of our staff who helps out the students with the recycling and the landscaping that happens on our campus. So, boy, this is an interminably long delay. The nice thing is I look up to the heavens and I see, you know, I don't know if that's a waxing or waning moon that's up there, a little bit of cloud coverage.
Well, this delay is sort of allowing the wind to die down, so that is going to miraculously end up being in Cienega's favor. Even after switching sides, the wind will die down now.
Right.
And benefit them some more.
So who knows what's happening. Now we have the referee who's talking to Coach Argraves near side.
Trying to just figure out what's going on, I suppose.
A summit, really, we can call this here. It's not the Malta Summit, but boy, this has taken a long time. And it looks like we're finally ready to resume. Maybe I thought we were. And now a timeout here. So Coach Argraves calls a timeout. we've got confusion. The scoreboard is giving us 1 down. The chain on the far side is telling us it's 3rd down. So we'll hopefully get these things kind of resolved and get some clarity in terms of what's happening. It's a puzzle to me.
I'm sure Coach Hargraves is just trying to clear everything up with his players, maybe give them a pep talk. I'm pretty proud of him because, like you said, he's new here, and he's already doing really well.
I agree. High character guy. So he's high character. You know, he talks about he's a leader of men. He's developing these kids to be leaders in society, whatever their path is after high school. So Cienega High School, we're college knowing and going. Great principal, Kim Middleton. She's super excited. You know, Hargraves is all about developing these kids to be gritty, resilient problem solvers. So of course they're student athletes, student first, athlete second. Of course they're going to be competitive. Of course they have high standards. They want to win the division. They want to have a high seed in the playoffs, and they want to make a run for the chalice, the state title every season. Big 3rd down here. 3rd down and 4. Bourget back to throw. Jailbreak. He spins out of it. And he delivers a strike for a 1st down. Far side of the field across to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 18 on the reception by Antonio Martinez. But somehow, boy, Trayson Bourget is able to slither his way out of there and wriggle his way free. A couple of cats had their arms wrapped around him, but he spun out of it and then poised, delivered a strike.
Very close.
So deadly at quarterback. Here's Wilhite now on the run going far side. Breaks another tackle. And then JoJo Parker and a couple of cats there push him out of bounds. But we've seen this. It's kind of a theme here. You've got to wrap up, right?
Exactly.
Wrap up on your tackles, go low, and drive the kiddo into the turf.
And even there, they did not actually get him down. They just pushed him out. So he's very good, you know, and maybe he'll lead them to victory.
1st and 10, Lancers. A trio of wideouts near side, one to the far side. Single set back is Anthony Wilhite. Trayson here going hard snap, trying to draw an offsides penalty. Now he looks across to his coaching staff here to get some signals. And again, we talk about him as being a pro-level mind in a high school body here, surveying the defense. Trayson takes 2 steps, looking corner, now strikes down the middle. Overthrown. Elias was trying to cover there late. Antonio Martinez, the target. But you saw the velocity there, the arm strength at Bourget. So arm strength, A+, intelligence at quarterback position, A+, decision-making, A+, and the wheels, I would say, is an A+ as well.
I obviously, you know, I want Cienega to win, but when I was doing research for this,
yes,
I was looking at Salpointe's performance against Canyon Del Oro, and I was thinking Wilhite and Bourget are like amazing.
Yes.
And now watching them, it's just confirming my suspicions.
Absolutely. 3rd and 10. Bourget under pressure, rolls left now. Throws to the corner, a little bit too far. But deadly pass there intended for Michael Aguirre. Just enough, not enough time to go. Savage applying pressure, Cole McFarland applying pressure as well. But we saw Trayson now rolling to his left. And as a right-handed thrower, it's always harder to roll left and then try to set yourself to throw. But he had a target there, but just not enough time to connect. So Salpointe now is looking for a field goal.
Cienega, they're guided to the swing of things now, you can see. They're putting the pressure on, and that's resulting in, you know, more incomplete passes.
And Owen Lynch is their kicker. Their normal kicker is Carson Fisk, so Carson is not out there tonight. Here's Owen on the field goal attempt. It'll be a 37-yarder, and there's a late timeout here called by Salpointe Catholic. I think they were running out of time on the play clock. That's the reason why they would call timeout there.
I mean, it's amazing. The wind is almost completely, like, fallen away at this point. So the advantage that Cienega would have had in this situation is not carrying over for Salpointe after switching sides.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So Jason Miller on Bobcat TV with Liam Guthrie. Liam, you made your debut at the Copper Navy game. We thought you did a superlative job as well, but it's great to have you here for an actual game. It's a lot more exciting to call.
Thank you. I mean, it's a huge game, you know, home opener against a big rival for us. There's a lot of people here, and I'm sure there's a lot of people viewing.
Yeah, it's packed. So the home stands are filled to the brim. The visiting stands are also filled to capacity. So the Lancers traveling very well. Just a short trip, really. I suppose you get on I-10 and it's about a 30-minute drive from their campus in the center of Tucson. So a 36-yard field goal attempt here by Owen Lynch. The snap is down, it's held, and the kick is up and it's good. So a true kick by Owen Lynch.
There's Salpointe making up for that missed field goal earlier.
And it was 36 yards on the field goal, is that right? 36-yard field goal?
Is that right?
So, got notes all over the place. All right, Owen Lynch.
Crowd's picking up here.
36-yard field goal. And now the Lancers extend their lead to 9-0. Remember, it was Trayson Bourget to open the scoring, 9 yards on the quarterback draw. The extra point was wide left. Again, it was blustery winds at that moment, going from right to left. And now here's Owen Lynch converting the 36-yard field goal to give the Lancers a 9-0 lead. 7:26, second quarter. Bobcats here looking to get something going on special teams. Elias Santana, number 2, Yaya is back there, set to return, along with his teammate Christian Hawkins, number 12. Or actually, it's 3. I think that's CJ Hangartner. So CJ and Elias, and it goes into the end zone, and actually it's Gunnar Hernandez. So a touchback here, and you see the leg strength there from the Lancers and their kicker, Owen Lynch.
Exactly. Maybe now that they don't really have that wind opposition, they've sort of come into form now.
I mean, I keep looking at the flag. So the flag is next to the scoreboard. The scoreboard is to the south of the end zone. So the south end zone is closest to Marianne Cleveland Way. The north end zone is closest to the snack bar. So the south end zone, the flag is next to it. It's slightly unfurled going from right to left, but not as ripping of a wind that we saw earlier tonight.
Exactly, and then there will be periods where there is no wind and the flag is motionless. And so that's, you know, sort of evens playing field for both teams.
I agree. Bobcats looking to move the chains here and start to move positively on offense. Cherry in the pistol, handoff goes to Richie McCormick. Richie threads his way for 3 yards. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This will be a difficult play for Cienega to run, I think, because it's all the way on the other side of the field, and Salpointe's already been putting on, you know, they've been a brick wall.
It is a brick wall. That defensive front from Salpointe has been formidable, stalwart, and stringent, tough to get through. They're trying to go through on the interior, and it might set up some plays to the outside in space. You're trying to get the ball into your playmakers' hands and let them use their speed out there in space and do some one-on-one moves. But it's been tough for Cherry. Now Salpointe shows blitz for a moment. We'll see if they bring pressure, and indeed they do up the middle. Cherry goes deep far side. He's got a receiver. And a great catch at the 40-yard line. What a catch.
I was just saying earlier in the game that if Cherry can get it to the right guy, then it's good. And if he can, they can run it. Right there, quick tackle, but still a good catch all around.
37 yards on the catch by Jimmy Diaz, the sophomore, on the far side of the field. So we've seen Cherry now, who's starting to pick up his rhythm and be a little bit more confident. And now the Cats trying to open it up a little bit vertically here. If they can start to connect on passes, that will open up the running game for them. 1st and 10 Cats. Here's a pitch going near side. Richie stutter steps, tries to thread back the other way, but he runs into a couple of Lancers. 17 and 53 on the tackle. And I have neither of those Cats listed. And when I say Cats, I mean Lancers. Sorry, I call everybody Cats. I call people Cats. So 2nd down and 13, a loss of 3 on the play. But we know Richard McCormick is a big-time speedster, right? Oh, and I saw Jimmy Diaz earlier today. I don't even know him, but he came up to me, he's like, "What's up, Mr. Miller?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's up? Good luck, fist bump, boom, go get him tonight." So there's Jimmy Diaz. I met him today, and I didn't even realize that I met him. So a great catch there by Jimmy. 2nd down and 13.
Very close right there. I think he might have just stumbled, and if he'd be able to get out of that, recover from that, he would have been able to run it very far, I think.
Braden looks to his right here to the sideline, trying to get some direction. Now he surveys the defense, and we have a flag. It might be a delay of game. Let's see. False start. So a false start going against the Bobcats of Cienega. Difficult sledding here. The Lancer defense has been stalwart, and their offense has also been moving the chains here methodically with the great tandem of Anthony Wilhite and Trayson Bourget.
I could see that. I think Salpointe might be using some mind game tactics right here, because I could see setting up that line, they were rushing to get in there, and I think that sort of stirred up Cienega a little bit.
This is also a Lancer team here, so you know, a little bit of history for you. The Bobcats have won the last 5 meetings between these two teams, so I'm sure that Salpointe Catholic is well aware of that and trying to end that streak tonight. So 2nd down and long, 2nd and 18. Braden back to throw under pressure, steps up in the pocket, but he's wrapped up for a sack by 53. I'm going to say it's Jace Springer, who's listed as 52 on my roster. So I don't see a 52 out there. I think it's Jace Springer. 53, I'm sorry, I don't have your name on my roster.
Last season I watched Salpointe play a game, and they were using the same sort of tactics that they're using in this game.
Yep.
You know, sort of getting inside their heads, you know, shaking them up a little bit, but also they've been able to run it, because it's miraculous. It's almost as if they're just like, you know, made of ice. They can just they're just slippery.
I mean, look, their uniforms are reminiscent of USC. The colors are also reminiscent, and they are an elite program, not just in Southern Arizona, but in Arizona. Jerry back to throw, coming near side here. He's got a receiver, and a great catch across the way by Christian Hawkins. So there's Blue with a big catch and a 1st down to move the chains and get this crowd back in the game.
Laser pass right there, right into his hands. Set up perfectly for that. Absolutely perfect. These are 2 Tucson teams, and I think that may be what sort of increases the big rivalry between them.
Huge, huge play. Huge for Braden Cherry's confidence, and a big-time play to get this crowd in the game. So the Cats now in business, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. They're in the red zone. Cherry looks over to his left. Richie McCormick is the single setback. 1 wide receiver near side, 2 on the top of the screen.
Zita's over there with that.
Braden gets a snap. Handoff here goes to Richie McCormick. McCormick threads it to the outside. Keeps those feet moving, and he's out of bounds.
Ran it pretty well there. A quick tackle, but quick out of bounds, but still a pretty good run. He avoided a lot of these tackles that were coming right for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So trying to bounce it to the outside. And again, if you're running the football, might be a good time here to do a little bit of play action. Also, you have some options kind of going to the corners if you want to do a little fade route to one of your big, tall receivers.
Exactly. In a game as close as this, that no yards can be like, you can't turn your nose at any amount of yards.
Christian Hawkins, Nick Chance to the far side. Near side, Brody Coleman, the big target, 6'5". Maybe the play to look out for. Handoff goes up the middle. And it's Richie McCormick. And he is the lead back. So he and Cole McFarland, the tandem. Cole subbing in now, and Richie coming off. So those backs are interchangeable pieces. They both go both ways too. So you have to wonder about stamina as the game goes deeper and deeper in when you have multiple players who are playing both offense and defense, and sometimes players are going on special teams as well. So not much of a respite or a break for these Cats out there, but it's a 3rd down and 6. Big 3rd down here. And now the wind, of course, picks up on cue, which the Cats don't want to see. Any kind of wind going right to left or any kind of wind coming in their face here would make it difficult for a potential field goal for Brindley Lorenko, the great senior kicker from the Cats. And a timeout here taken by Coach Argraves. So they're going to draw up a play here, and we'll see what he's scheming, what he's trying to concoct there. A little bit of alchemy in the huddle, and I'm curious to see what it's going to be for the Cats.
I mean, I've seen this kind of thing happen before where one good pass, one good play can just increase a team's confidence so much that it lets them get through, push through, and it takes them into the lead, you know?
Right. I mean, any points here would be big.
Exactly.
So, look, a field goal would be significant for the Cats. Obviously, they want a touchdown. You're always hoping for more. Any kind of points on that board, that 0 it's almost like an eye looking at you, right? So I'm thinking of Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart, and you have this 0 just kind of staring at you. You want to get that 0 off the board. Any kind of points would be positive. 3, 6, 7, anything to get that 0 off the board. Give yourself some momentum, get some positive energy going into the locker room at halftime. So the Cats here have big aspirations, trying to get 6 on this play. It's a 3rd and 6. Gavin Peterson, 18, a target to look out for near side. Richie McCormick at tailback there to pass block. and a pair of wideouts to the left. Braden looking left, rolling left, under pressure, and it's snuffed. And it's an interception. Penalty down on the play. The ball was deflected by big 95, Elijah Rushing, and intercepted by 53, who I think is Jace Springer. So let's see what the penalty is here. That might nullify that turnover. But Braden rolling to his left again. When you have a right-handed thrower rolling left, it's tough to get your shoulders set and your legs kind of planted before you can strike and throw that football. But great defensive line there and some massive size and big wingspan by big 95 Elijah Rushing. The sophomore, who's 6'5" as a sophomore, 220 pounds.
Exactly, sort of deflected right into his hands right there.
Right off of the defensive lineman into the linebacker, right in his breadbasket. So an easy interception. There's an injured cat down at the field at midfield. Joe Islas, the trainer from Cienega, attending to that Bobcat. Let's see who the player is. And then meanwhile, we have the umpire who is frozen on the 20-yard line, straddling his yellow penalty flag. So we have a helmet off here at midfield and a pall over the crowd. And we're hoping this is not a serious injury. So we'll identify the Bobcat as soon as we see that number.
We're hoping that it is.
It may have been the wind knocked out of him, and that's my speculation here. That's River Reese. So River, 51, the junior. And a bit of a delay here as Joe looks at him. And he's walking off gingerly. And then I always worry too about concussion protocol as well. So those are the first kind of things that come to my mind.
Exactly.
And he's getting some love and support there from Garrett Montgomery and also Gavin Butler. So we're gonna watch this closely, and maybe we can get our reporters down there to try to see what exactly is happening. But now when a player is being assisted here kind of arm in arm, that tells me it could be concussion protocol. So I hope that's not the case. But looking at Joe, looking at his eyes, kind of checking out where he's at, that's the indicator to me, concussion protocol. So he took a shot there. And we hope that River's okay. Great kiddo, baseball player and football player. All right, here we go. Salpointe now finally on their first down run. And it's Anthony Wilhite on the carry. And no gain on the play. But boy, I hate to see that. So that's exactly what we're looking at here. And I think Joe might go to a phone for the flashlight, and you're kind of looking at the pupils of the athlete to see how they're responding to these outside stimulus, which would be the lights. So that's exactly what we're looking at here. I want to send our best out to River and his family and hope that he is okay. So second down and 9 yards to go. Trayson Bourget fires near side, and it was behind the target. So intended for Michael Aguirre, number 8. He has 2 catches for 31 yards on the season in their opener against CDO. They beat CDO 56-0 in week 1. They had a bye in week 2. Salpointe always likes to have their byes early. Other coaches like to have it kind of mid-season because you're going to have nicks and bumps and bruises and nagging injuries and those types of things in the middle of the year. Early in the season, it's kind of atypical to have players injured. All right, big third down here for the Bobcats. 3rd and 9. Trayson back to throw. Cole applying pressure, but Trayson delivering a strike on the far side. First down pickup and more, and some blistering speed there by number 6, Gage Felix, running very low to the ground. I mean, he was almost like above the ground there, like just hovering above it. So continuing to fly there, almost like a little insect, like kind of skittering across like the turf or skittering across a pond or something like that. But a first down pickup, and Trayson again, very coolly under pressure, delivering to Felix for a first down. 1st and 10 at the Bobcat 28-yard line. 49 seconds on the clock, a factor. Post in the middle, the ball's caught, and it's a touchdown. So number 15 on the reception. Of course, I don't have that player's name on my roster, but it's a 27-yard touchdown strike from Bourget to 15.
I think if they can catch up to him, because I think I've noticed Cienega's figured out that you can't get on top of these guys. You have to just sweep the legs, kind of thing, you know, and because that'll knock them down for sure. But they can't be like just got on top of, because they always get out of it. You know, they're slippery.
I'm going to resolve my roster issues at halftime. Here's the extra point. And it is up, and it is good. So Owen Lynch converting the extra point, a 27-yard touchdown catch from number 15. Trayson Bourget now 2 touchdowns, 1 throwing and 1 rushing. And the extra point by Owen Lynch makes the score here 16-0. So the Cats were moving in the right direction. They had an opportunity. A great deflection by the defensive lineman Elijah Rushing, and the interception by 53, who I think is Jay Springer. But we'll find out. So who's number 53? Who's number 15? And I'm trying to remember the other number on that roster. We will try to find out and identify who these players are. Now, stay tuned. At halftime, we will have the Copper Thunder Marching Band under the direction of Grant Knox. Mr. Style, he's the most stylish teacher on Cienega's campus, in my opinion, among many. And we are going to give you the sounds and sights of the band. And also Kyle Newland, the trombonist, who is expert. He is going to be featured in the Macy's Day Parade next year. He's also going to be playing in the Rose Bowl Parade along with several of his classmates. So we will have a spotlight on him for his solo, as well as the rest of the Copper Thunder Marching Band. Casey Borders, a drum major, and Grace Stivers, a drum major. And there's one more drum major that I will also get the name of for you guys at halftime. So be sure to stay tuned for that. I know we have some spectators, Liam, that just tune in for the halftime show.
Yes. I have to say, Copper Thunder, of all the bands I've seen, they outdo some college bands, I think, at times. And I like to say, I was at the Arizona Bowl a few years ago, and this is mirroring that game very closely. It was really close, and then New Mexico State was able to come back at the end and sort of take over, and maybe that could be something that we have on our hands here, and because it's been very close so far.
So I was puzzled for a moment. I looked at the scoreboard, it said 15. Now they changed it, so it's 16. I think Ken Beaver is running the scoreboard tonight. He's a science teacher at Cienega, I think physics in the freshman academy, and then of course Tim Nichols, the venerable longtime announcer from the Cats with his distinctive voice and cadence. Handoff comes near side, Richie McCormick. Richie picks up 6. So the Cats might be content, I suppose, to go to the locker room here, down 16-0 at halftime. They're gonna have to conjure up some magic in the second half. The game plan might have to be altered slightly here. They may have to open things up a little bit, but it's been difficult sledding. Braden Cherry has had a tough time not getting a lot of time to throw that football. So the battle is often won in the trenches, and I would give Salpointe's offense and defensive front here the advantage, at least in the first half.
Exactly. I think it's just, this is Cherry's first year in varsity, and I think it's just, you know, first home game sort of jitters. And if he can get the confidence up, then he can do this.
Play action, Braden rolling to his left, and he's sacked on the play. And there's big 95, Elijah Rushing. And that will end us here at the first half. So Salpointe 16-0. Trayson Bourget, as advertised, a 9-yard touchdown run, a 27-yard touchdown pass. Owen Lynch had a 36-yard field goal and converted one of his extra points. That's your scoring at the half at 16-0 Salpointe. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back for the halftime show, so get your drinks, make a bathroom run, do what you have to do. And be sure to stay tuned for our halftime show as we bring you Cienega's Copper Thunder Marching Band back here in just a few on Bobcat TV.
not only. So, because Irvin said not to.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the featuring the Cienega High School. The Guthrie Thunder's 2021 production is titled Triumphant Voyage. Set in the aftermath of the Trojan War, Greek hero Odysseus is met with a great stride during his 10-year journey home. Reflecting on those wartime experiences and Odysseus' journey across the sea, his story serves as a metaphor for the propelling hope and triumph in the deepest moments of despair. The Guthrie Thunder Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Grant Lyon. Drum majors, Casey Borders, David Chase, Greg Snyder, is your train ready? Once again, we would like a big shout out to all our parents in the community. Communicating well. Their experiences is back this week. All things going well. Very positive things going on on campus. 40+ spots. Once again, boarding's dangerous. Make sure you get your student involved somewhere. Maybe different clubs. Whatever their passion is, look for it and get them involved. Also, huge academic offerings throughout Cienega. 2018 courses. We're an AP on-roll teaching school. Get that involved if your student is on that level. Certainly reach out to those AP advanced tests.
Really? Yeah, and I was like,
Classes and courses we have offered.
going conversations? I don't know. They were like standing right there, and I like gave them a hug. Yeah, but I don't know if they know what happened. So, but he's a senior. Oh my goodness. I have $2. I want to do so bad. But the line's so freaking long. Can I watch the camera? I'm gonna like walk down there because I can't. I really need to shut down.
Report pregame.
Oh, I'm sorry. I started.
No, it's fine. I thought you did a great job. So, sorry, you can't hear me with this mask on.
Yeah.
I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
So, I don't know where Reagan is, right? But
Yeah,
I'll tell you, like, I'm going to fly down here, and obviously, right, so Salpointe's winning the game.
Yeah.
They should win the game tonight. I mean, we're rooting for Cienega to come back, but Trayson Bourget, number 3, is the guy to look out for, right?
Yeah.
So, we would interview him, and it would just be like, hey, Trayson, like, boy, you really seem to be in a rhythm tonight. Like, how confident were you coming into this game? Experience, right?
Okay, wait. Can I write that down?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, what was the first question?
So here's the first question. Coming into tonight, Cienega had won the last 5 matchups between Salpointe and Cienega.
Coming to tonight, what? Salpointe, what?
Salpointe had lost the last 5 games against Cienega. What does it mean for you to end that streak?
Okay.
You know?
5
Yep.
games.
They lost 5 in a row. Salpointe and Cienega, when they play each other in football, Salpointe won the last 5 games.
What does it mean to
Or sorry, Cienega won the last 5 games. Sorry. Cienega won the last 5 games.
Okay.
So what does it mean to end that streak losing against Cienega? Right? Right. 2, how does this help you guys in your goals? Like, their goal is to win a state championship. How does this help you kind of in that journey? Like, that would be a question too.
So like right after, I'll follow up with you.
Mr. Bertagnoli, how are you, sir? You don't know me. I'm an old lifeguard of yours. So are you still
Yes.
supervisor of the city of Tucson?
Yes.
Billy Sassy still the director?
Yes.
And Jill still
Oh,
also?
no, Jill's gone.
How about
Long
Bob,
gone.
Bob Coville? Is he-
Long gone.
Okay, but you're still there. There's another guy from Wisconsin. I can't think of his name.
I don't know. What's your name?
Jason Miller. I was probably the oldest lifeguard in the city of Tucson, early 2000s.
No, you're not. I am.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. I see you out here often. It's always good to see you. Take care.
Okay, so I'd be like.
Once you do that, sit back down.
So coming in tonight, Salpointe has lost the last 5 games. How does it feel to end this state?
That's right. And then how does this game help you guys in your goals? And he'll probably run with an answer, right? You can ask him too. His older brother Trenton, his older brother Coben, his sister Rylan. Like, you know, are your older brothers and your sister, are they watching the game tonight as well? Something like that to make it kind of like.
Are your siblings and family watching?
Yeah, exactly.
And
So,
is he like the only one we're gonna interview?
ask him about Thursday night. Like, hey, you're the only game in town Thursday night. Like, is Thursday night more special than a Friday night game?
Okay.
Like little easy questions for him to kind of roll with. Okay, but I'll be back here near the end of the game, and we'll get you guys kind of ready to go. I'm gonna get back up on
Okay,
top.
thank you. Are we only interviewing him?
I think so. Like, we have to grab him, and maybe his running back, number 21, Anthony Wilhite. So those would be the 2 guys that we probably want to grab on too.
Welcome back to Bobcat TV. I'm Liam Guthrie, and my partner will be joining us shortly. Here's the kick. Took a good hop right there. Cienega got it. Had a good run. Sworn by Salpointe right there. That was a pretty good run right by Cienega. Avoided it for a little bit longer than they could have, than they should have. We'll see if Cienega can recover from their slump at the first half of the game. They seem pretty refreshed, pretty pumped up after halftime. Quick huddle. Come up with a plan of attack real quick.
That's nice.
Cienega sets up for the play. Cherry back his pass. He runs it. Bad tackle right there. Cherry able to run it a lot farther than in past. Able to avoid the tackle right there. Good for Cherry. That's a very good run for him.
All right, there's Richie McFarland on a carry to the near side. It's good to see Alec White. So Alec White for the Arizona Daily Star Again, a bit of a media circus here. Saw Andy Morales pregame. I know Arizona Sports 520s here. AZ Preps 365.
Exactly. That shows you how seriously people are taking this game. You've got outside media covering this, not just us.
Yes, Thursday night game, the only game in town. Quick pass here. Brody Kalman picks up 10 and a first down. So Kalman at 6'5", you would think as a weapon on offense at tight end would be someone to target, someone to throw jump balls to in the red zone, a weapon I think that you want to try to start factoring into the offense.
I applaud that play right there because although it did not it did not take us very far, but it took us far enough, you know. If we haven't had the best luck getting it the passes that far, it's best to take what we can, and that was an open play right there, and I thought it was good.
Just move the chains a little bit here, kind of like peck away. So it's good energy here to open the second half for the Cats. I'm sure that Coach Argraves gave an inspiring speech at halftime to get these guys back on track, but you know, words don't do things. It's actions that we need to see here. Commitment and execution on the plays. Offense, defense, special teams. In every facet or every phase of the game, the Cats have to tighten it up a little bit.
I was saying Cienega already seems refreshed from that halftime. I think that it was very beneficial to them.
And I saw Trayson Bourget at halftime, and he was cool as could be. So we did find out some names. Number 15 is Bryce Robinson. Number 53 is Jace Springer, who I thought it was. There's a pass to the outside, and a nice catch by Brady Belts. So Brady's a weapon too. He's a quick, speedy slot receiver, also a baseball player. So if you can get Brady the ball and let him to kind of manipulate and to maneuver into space, then that would be positive. And we want the Cats here to start implementing all of their weapons and trying to spread out the offense here to different targets.
It's interesting how much Copper Navy game, just a scrimmage, could show you about the team already. Brady Belts had a very good run in Copper Navy game, and he's did pretty well at Buena, and so he has 73 rushing yards, which is it's pretty impressive.
It is impressive. I saw Ryan Swoger at halftime as well. So the last quarterback from Cienega, poor kiddo had his senior season deprived from him. There's a pass out in the flats and a gain of 4 and a quick tackle on the outside. The ball was caught by Jimmy Diaz, who had a nice catch earlier that sparked the Cats there for a moment. Ryan Swoger plays at South Dakota State. So I asked him, I'm like, well, is that where Carson Wentz played? He's like, no, that's North Dakota State. He's like, that's our rival. So Swoger's a safety, very athletic kid, a high flyer, could dunk, right? Like, kind of like blew me away at a summer camp. So he's a basketball, as a high flyer, as a player here for the Cats. Always good to see the alumni coming back here to support the Cienega Bobcats. So that tradition is a strong and rich tradition. Second down and 6. Braden Cherry back to throw. Kind of pumps, fires, nearly intercepted. So number 20, Cruz rushing, had that ball right in his arms, unable to handle it.
I think that Cienega should have stuck with their earlier strategy in this quarter. Is they were taking it inch by inch, not being too ambitious with it, but they were doing the smart plays, doing everyone that was open. They weren't trying to get it all the way across half the field in one throw.
Bit of a dilemma here, a little bit of a puzzle for the Cats, a riddle to try to solve, if you will. So 3rd and 6. I hear you. I mean, you want to kind of like chip away and just kind of continuing to get small gains and positive momentum. But sometimes you have to take a little shot here, a little shot there to try to keep that defense off balance. But Salpointe has been applying some pressure here, making it tough for Cherry to get set and throw. Big 3rd down. In and out of the hands of Brady Belts. Brady is holding his face mask there. He knew that's a catch that he would normally have. So unfortunate on that one.
Exactly. You're gonna see that kind of stuff. You know, just sort of unfortunate, minor mistakes that you know, players beat themselves up about, but really just minor mistakes that, you know, because they're thinking, I should have caught that. I've caught a million plays like that before.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Cats are going to go for it here. So it's 4th and 6. You're at that point of the field where it doesn't make sense to try to punt and pin your defense or the other team deep in their own end. You've got to start putting some points on the board. The clock is becoming a factor, so 8:25 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, and a big 4th and 6. let's see what Coach Nightingale draws up here from the playbook. Belts in the slot near side, along with C.J. Handgartner and Jimmy Diaz. Braden Cherry back to throw. Oh, a great tip there to make up that lost ground by Mason Sanchez. So C.J. Handgartner was open, but Sanchez closed the gap. And a great athletic move there to deflect the pass away. And the Lancers will take over on downs, 1st and 10.
Exactly. And I'm wondering what Cienega is going to continue with now, because it's, to use a baseball analogy, if you throw, you know, 2 off-speed pitches that result in strikes, you're not going to throw another one because the batter's going to see that coming. So let's see if they're going to do the same thing.
Well, Salpointe here going pedal to the metal. So a handoff goes to the left side. It's Dalen Goodman. And Dalen a short gain on the play. Garrett Montgomery on the tackle.
Strong defense for Cienega right there. That was pretty good. Let's hope they can keep that up, keep it going.
The defense has to generate a turnover, so whether you're stripping the football or getting an interception, they're going to have to conjure something up here to try to get that ball back and back into the offense. Bourget, plenty of time to throw. Comes near side, connects with David Garcia. Garcia picks up 12-13, and there's a late flag, so unfortunate. You had jousting between both players. Garcia had Elias Santana's face mask, and then Elias dumped him with his right hand after he was already out of bounds. So this will be a 15-yard penalty, I think, against Elias. And, you know, often it's, you know, if you have 2 people that are kind of penalizing, it's the second person that gets caught, and that's what we saw there. Because I saw Garcia with his hand on Elias's face mask, but Elias shoved him out of bounds, and the ref, of course, saw that and flew the flag. There we go. And that is, it's the right call. It's unfortunate from Cienega's perspective, but that is the correct call. Exactly. And you have some boos here cascading from the fans, but I don't think they saw what happened, and that happens a lot too. A lot of times, Liam, you've got fans who are also referees, who are also experts, who are also coaches, but they're just spectators.
Exactly. But, you know, although probably the right call, still unfortunate. They're going to be upset about it. We'll see if Cienega can just keep them at bay.
Trayson back to throw. Trayson now takes off running. Oh, Nietzsche moved there. Broken ankle of the defender, and he picks up 9. Saw that little shimmy shake move.
Exactly. Good juke right there.
Yes, a
but,
juke.
Cienega's crowd not happy with it.
No.
That's for sure. They're losing patience, I think.
Yeah, they are. There's no doubt. And now a timeout by Cienega. Well, we have some restless fans. There's no doubt about it. So not much you can do about it. Everybody's watching the same game here and hoping for some sort of a play that will ignite Cienega and get them back in this game. But we see methodically Salpointe on their offense, running the football with Will Height and letting Trayson Bourget, their quarterback slash coach, right, who I compared to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, in terms of assessing defenses and picking apart defenses with methodical, rhythmic, precise passing.
Exactly. I think Peyton Manning is a good analogy right there, because a lot of people were saying, you know, he wasn't just like sort of the leader of the team in the sense that he was the quarterback. He was actually a leader of the team.
Right.
You know, inspiring. He inspired people, and you know, ultimately led them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, again at halftime, so just kind of like being in that circle there. Trayson was outside with a couple of his teammates and his coaches, and they were very loose. They felt very confident about what they were doing. You know, their game plan here is being executed how they want it to. So a 2nd and 1 here. Big play for defense here for the Bobcats. Oh, a bullet to David Garcia. Hit him right on the numbers, unable to catch that ball. Josiah Parker and Spizo Gonzalez were both there in coverage, and it's 3rd down and 1.
I'm thinking that was just too fast to catch. It, like you said, it bounced right off of him, and he couldn't recover it with his hands. So, although a fumble, still an impressive throw. Like you said, bullet, straight shot right there.
Handoff left side, 1st down. maybe 12 on the carry by Dalen Goodman. 5'10", 180 running back. Chains move forward. Salpointe now is doing a couple of things. They're eating clock, and they're continuing to run offense and try to put more points on the board. Quick pass comes to the outside. Ball's caught by Michael Aguirre.
I think that if Cienega can stop them from scoring here, that'll be a good boost of their morale, and then it may project them into a scoring position.
2nd and 3. Bourget looks to the sideline, gets some instruction from the coaching staff. Now calls out some direction to the receivers to his right and left sides. Little flare pass comes near side here, and it's an easy touchdown by Dalen Goodman. So 8 yards on the touchdown catch by Goodman.
Impressive run right there by the Lancers, and if they can get into that position, they've always been able to get it in there. Let's see if Cienega can prevent the field goal. The wind is sort of against them now.
Owen Lynch for the extra point attempt. Up and good. And just like that, it's 23-0 Lancers over Cienega. So go ahead, Liam.
On the bright side, wind has sort of changed directions in Cienega's favor. The flag is moving the other way.
Yeah, at least there's a breeze. It's also keeping us cool up here, so that is encouraging. Let me give you a quick scoring recap. So first, it's been all Salpointe. Trayson Bourget, 9 yards on the touchdown run. Owen Lynch, a 36-yard field goal, made it 9-0. Number 15 is Bryce Robinson. He had a 27-yard touchdown catch from Trayson Bourget. And then Owen Lynch converted the extra point. And then moments ago, it was Dalen Goodman on a flare pass near side, 8 yards on the reception from Trayson Bourget. Lynch's extra point makes it 23-0 Salpointe Catholic, the Lancers. Lancers going right to left. White jerseys, white pants, and their maroon or crimson hats or helmets. And the Bobcats now trying to spark something on special teams. At the 1 yard line, coming out here's Gunnar Hernandez. Elias trying to block for him, and Gunnar ran over a tackler, but the tackler was able to make that play. But a good return there by Gunnar. 30 yards on the return. Tackle on the play by number 99, Michael Estrada. Also number 23, Max Flores.
I was talking to some of the football players today, and I said there's a lot of people that think this is going to be sort of an easy win for Salpointe. And he said to me something that really rings true right now. He said, it ain't over till it's over.
True.
And that's, you know, see, don't be demoralized. Cienega could come back from this. I've seen like more miraculous comebacks than this.
They're going to have to come back a little bit at a time here. You can't get it all in one bunch, so they've got to put some points on the board to start with. Pass goes to the far side and broken up very nicely there by number 9. So that's one player that I don't have a rock. I was like, okay, 15, 53. Don't know who number 9 is. So that was a nice deflection out there in space by number 9. And it will be 2nd down and 10.
It's been close for Salpointe. They've almost made a lot of interceptions, but it's just bounced right off the tips of their fingers. And that's definitely been good for Cienega. Let's see how it turns out for them.
Very steep mountain to climb here for the Cats. Cherry points out some direction there to his left side. Fires out to the left, but a little bit low for the intended target, who is Karan Watson. So incomplete. And now it's 3rd and 10. 5 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock here, 3rd quarter. Salpointe up 23-0. And I think, so Cole McFarland here has a cut on his right elbow. You can see it very clearly. So he's frustrated, but you know, that's the rule. If there's blood out there, we want to make sure we're getting this bandage wrapped up and band-aided. And Cole's just going nuts here. He just wants to get back out onto the field for 3rd down. And the training staff here, which is so well led by Joe Islas, one of those student trainers here, is trying to do a quick tape job on him. And Cole's antsy as could be on the sideline. So 3rd down and 10. Big 3rd down here for the Cats.
Thanks for the support, dickhead.
Richie McCormick comes in motion, play action to him, throw down the middle. Nice catch
There
in
we
space
go.
there by Brody Coleman, 15 yards and the 1st down. Threading the needle was Braden Cherry. A lot of traffic there.
Exactly. Like we said, you got to take it a little bit at a time, and that was a good play right there.
And I
Good
still
catch.
think that Brady's such a weapon at 6'5". If you can integrate him into the offense at that size, and he's got good hands, soft hands, and some good speed, and he's flanked out here near side as a wide receiver now. So I think that's somebody that you could certainly target. Get those speedsters out in space and let him make some plays. Braden here comes near side. Brody picks up the catch. Nice tackle by Antonio Martinez. But big Brody Coleman at 6'5", picks up 7, maybe 6, makes it second and 4.
That was good. They tried to get him back. Salpointe tried to push him back a little bit, and he was able to stick with it and get back to that original position where he was. And I think I agree. Cherry, you know, he's like a car. He sort of starts out slow, then he ramps it up.
Right, like a classic car, like my
Exactly.
'65 Ford Falcon. You got to start the car a little bit, get it going a little bit, hope it doesn't sputter at the stop sign, and keep moving. 2nd and 4. Cherry under pressure now in the pocket. Runs forward, takes a blistering hit there that has people oohing and awing. It was Connor Reitzman, number 2, delivering a punishing blow. Braden's a big, tough kiddo, and he pops up quickly here and comes to the sideline. I'm sure the coach is like, you okay? But in that kind of a play, like, he's so tall is Braden, you don't want to see him being straight upright. You want him to lunge forward and try to slide and maybe extend with the football for the 1st down. But he's trying to go head on against those linebackers. And again, that's maybe 3 or 4 big hits that I've seen him take here tonight. So a personal foul here. I think we have targeting on that one.
I have to applaud that play, though, because he saw the pressure. He saw the pressure he was in, knew he wasn't going to get it, and just decided to run it, even though I don't think he's entirely comfortable running the ball at times, but he just decided he was going to take it that time, and it was a good run.
Well, there's a sound we haven't heard very often, the voice of Tim Nichols with his classic 1st down Cienega call. We have not heard that very much tonight. Not a good sign. 1st and 10 now for the Cats. Pitch goes left side, Richie McCormick. Richie stutter steps, tries to thread it back to the inside, and he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It was 97, Latif Olawuladobe, number 97, the junior.
Cienega going back to that, the strategy they were using earlier, taking it a bit at a time, one step at a time, and it's benefiting them again.
Liam, I thought you were going to ask me to pronounce his last name again, so it's Latif Olawulabode. That's quite a handful there. Polysyllabic, probably 5 syllables on that one. So 2nd and 10. 2 right outside side, 1 top of the screen. Cole McFarland at running back. He's got that right elbow taped now. He's there to pass block for Braden. Nice catch and traffic by Karan Watson. He's close to a 1st down, and he does pick up a 1st down.
Good
So
catch by
Karan's a
Watson.
big athletic receiver, number 4, the junior. You want to see him getting involved as well.
Exactly. He's a big guy. Going to be hard to bring down. And he's been, this quarter, he's been doing really well. And that was a good jumping catch by him. And he held on to the ball really well.
Just keep pushing forward here, Cats. You've got to push through this. You knew there's going to be some adversity at some point. You've got to stay together and keep pushing forward. Handoff comes to Cole McFarland. Cole with a spin. Nice little tip down the sideline there.
Running backwards for a second there until
Tippy-toeing
eventually.
to stay in bounds, and he's going backwards, but he's slow to get up here, and he's frustrated at himself, and I don't know if it's the ankle. Let's see what it is.
These guys know it's a big game, and they're gonna be upset if they're ever injured.
Hey, I don't want to speculate. Slow to get up here. And he's leaning on one of those coaches here. Man, he's getting carried now. So Steve Schween, the weights coach, and one of the assistant coaches on that staff on Coach Argrave's coaching staff. Ah. They're going to put him on the trainer's table here, carefully, gingerly here. Let's see. And he's clutching onto his left calf, it looks like here. Ah, man, hate to see that. So we will follow this closely here, sending our thoughts, prayers, and well wishes out to Cole and his family. Met his mother last night, super nice at parent-teacher conferences. So he is getting attention here on that left. Like, it might be a cramp. That would be the best case scenario. So maybe a cramp there in the left calf. We'll keep that situation monitored closely, and we'll update you as we move forward. So 1st and 12 from the 25-yard line. Braden back to throw us some time here, but no targets open. Now Braden looks to run, lunges forward. He picks up 3.
Braden doing, he's definitely improved in his running in this game. Like we said, classic car, ramping up.
Yes.
Gotten definitely more comfortable in running the ball.
But again, that's not the kid I want to see running, right? Like,
yeah.
Occasionally maybe, but especially out in space.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. Let's see what happens here. Yep, and I see Mrs. McFarland down there by the fence here, eagerly kind of looking to see how her boy is doing. So, of course, that's his mother. You know, there's nobody's gonna love you like your mom will love you. Pass down the middle. Brittany Coleman, nice catch. And lunging toward the end zone. So a gain of about 20, and it will set the Cats up in business, 1st and goal.
There we go. That was a good move by Cienega. Like I said earlier, doing sort of baseball analogy, off-speed pitch, then go fastball right down the middle.
That's right, fastball. Right down the middle of the field.
Exactly.
In traffic. So the Cats here set up now, 1st and goal. Just try to punch one in here, and it might be an opportunity for the quarterback to do a quarterback sneak, but he's in the pistol. Richie McCormick would be the ball carrier. And as a keeper here by Cherry, trying to spin, and he's wrapped up. So tackle on the play by Cruz Rushing. Called his name several times tonight. But I think when you're that close, you just want to punch it in.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. When at this distance, you're just going to want to just give it to a guy that can stay up and just go right through.
And you don't have to necessarily power. You can find a crevice, a little sliver of daylight, and just kind of like knife your way in there. And sometimes when you go low, Tom Brady would be the perfect example, right? So you don't think of him as a runner, but he's probably the best short distance running back or quarterback in the history of the NFL. We see him so many times scoring 1-yard touchdown runs or 1st down runs. And, you know, you're smart enough to go low and not get crushed by one of those D linemen. All right, 2nd down and goal. Here's Richie McCormick powering in for a touchdown.
Touchdown,
There we go. And finally here, the Cats getting that 0 off the scoreboard with 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Richie McCormick, 5 yards on the touchdown run.
The thing that Cienega has to do now is, now that they've got that, now that their morale is boosted, we'll see if they have the time to continue with this.
Well, here's Brindley Lorenko, the senior place kicker, number 25 from Cienega. The young lady is a soccer star and hyper accurate as a place kicker. So now she is on the season 5 out of 6 on extra points.
There we go. Now we've got the team rolling. Morale boosted. People, like I said, let's see if Cienega has the time. Only 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So
you have a couple options here, Liam. You could try an onside kick. You could try a little squib kick. We saw Brindley in her opening kickoff squibbing it forward. And you might try to get some good fortune here with a quick turnover on possession. But we'll see what they dial up here for the special team. So we've got 20 seconds here in the 3rd quarter.
Exactly.
So in the entire 4th quarter left to go. The Cats have 2 timeouts left. So, you know, clock is part of this. You're trying to either get a quick defensive stop where you have a 3-and-out possession from Salpointe to get the ball back, or you could try an onside kick, but you know, it might be a little predictable here at this point as well. If I'm thinking about it, it's probably predictable. Let's put it like that.
Despite having the lead, that touchdown and that field goal are going to demoralize Salpointe a little bit, and that could allow us. Malik Ramirez had a few interceptions.
Right, Malik.
So maybe he comes in and helps us recover this.
So let's see what happens on special teams. Brindley is taking a approach here and put some height on that one. Fair catch at the 30-yard line and handled nicely by Diego Lopez, the senior number 30. So Salpointe 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. So fans, we want to make sure that you stick around post-game. We will have post-game interviews with our sideline reporters, Reagan Scott and Neveah Fisher, a pair of super sophomores who both made their debut tonight on Bobcat TV. I thought they did a great job in the pregame report, and I'm looking forward to how they handle the post-game interviews. So be sure to stay tuned after the game for those as well.
Wind has completely died at this point.
Yeah.
So
yes, it has.
Neutral playing field for both teams.
And we've got, you know, all the flying insects here swarming around the lights at Cienega Stadium. Oh, there's a nice tackle. There's Nolan Baker, who grabbed the jersey of Trayson Bourget and brought him down for a sack. So Nolan, a big lift there. Big, tough defensive end, number 54, the senior. Kind of a stoic, kind of George Washington kind of figure is how I would compare him to. He doesn't say a lot, but when he speaks, he commands the presence of everybody in the room and gets their attention. A leader among those young men on the field. So another play there for the Cats to get some positive momentum. And now we're heading to the 4th quarter. So the field position will change. Salpointe will be going from left to right.
That won't affect, I mean, position change won't really affect much now that the wind's just gone. So I think it'll be about the same style of gameplay for both. And, you know, the Cienega has a limited amount of time to recover here.
So let me just put a shout out here. Nick Irvin is the man with the plan, the architect at Bobcat TV, taking this program to unprecedented heights. So we have a graphic about Trayson Bourget and his career numbers, right? So when we see these stats here on the screen, you'll have an idea of what he's done since his sophomore season at Salpointe. So 62% completion percentage for his career, 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, a quarterback rating of 123 for his career. And again, coming into tonight, he was 12 for 16, 75% completion percentage, and 4 touchdowns. So that completion percentage has been high as well tonight. So just one of the best quarterbacks you'll see at the high school level. Pass goes out to the flat here. It'll be 7 yards on the reception to Antonio Martinez, and Elias Santana bringing him down.
Well, good tackle right there. Cienega's definitely figuring out the ways to get these guys down. They were having trouble with it in the beginning, and now they got into the swing of things. They figured out how to bring these guys down.
The band here is trying to energize the crowd as well. Sounds like Gary Glitter, Rock and Roll something Part 2, I think it's called. You know the song, you've recognized it. So we're looking at 3rd and 4. This is a big 3rd down here for the Cats. They need to stop here to get the ball back and get closer in this game. Let's see what they dial up on defense. Spezio coming on a blitz up the inside, and late Richie McCormick. But Trayson now taking off near side with a big pickup on 1st down. Lowers the shoulder. There's a late shove there by Josh Kinsavage, and then another shove back here. So you saw Trayson with the wheels, also the intellect quickly. Oh, there's an open space here. They're blitzing. I've got room to the outside. I'll just keep it and go. So a big 1st down run by Trayson, showing off the legs. And then he kind of like lowered the shoulder on Elias Santana and Josh Kinsavage. I'd love to see that when you've got your teammates back. And he shoved Trayson. And then you had Salpointe's Michael Aguirre shove Josh, and then Josh is ready to go after him too.
Exactly.
So I like that energy there, that grit. They're ready to fight here.
He's got a strategic mind.
Yes. But 1st down for Salpointe. Trayson now rolls out to his left. Now he's going down the field. Receiver wide open at the 15, and he can coast in there for a 43-yard touchdown catch. And it's Bryce Robinson, 43 yards on the touchdown reception.
Another touchdown. Too easy. Another touchdown for Salpointe right there. They were too focused on the quarterback that time. Last play, they weren't focused enough on him, allowed him to run through the middle. This time, they were too focused on him and allowed him to get back and make that pass.
So 3 touchdown passes for Trayson Bourget, plus a 9-yard touchdown run, counting for 4 touchdowns here, and the extra point converted by Owen Lynch. And now it's 30-7 Lancers. Well, let me say this, Liam. I'm going to put this one out there to all the fans watching on Bobcat TV. Take a breath, relax a little bit, be patient, right? Like a new coach, new transition, new terminology, new scheme on offense and defense. And let's be honest here. Week 1, going at Sunrise Mountain, those were the defending state champions from last year. So let's start there. Number 2, you're playing a Phoenix school. So Phoenix has a larger population. They have a larger talent pool from which to draw from. So we always expect when Cienega plays a Phoenix school that the Phoenix schools typically have an advantage in terms of personnel. Now you're playing Salpointe in week 3, and Salpointe's no joke. They are littered and loaded with Division I talent, Trayson Bourget being first and foremost among those players. So just take a moment, relax, let these coaches get settled in, let them coach, you know, not just this season, but let them coach next season as well, and let's see what happens. So don't hit the panic button yet, Cat fans out there. Let's let Coach Argraves and his staff get things stabilized and normalized. The early part of the season we knew coming in was a very difficult schedule. The schedule gets better and easier as we get to the mid and end of the year, and we know these Cats will continue to work hard and improve. So I'm just going to throw that out there right now because I know people can be a little bit crazy in terms, that's why they call them fanatics, right? Fans are fanatics. So let's relax a little bit here. Don't be discouraged. Stay positive. Let's keep moving forward together.
Exactly. We can definitely recover from this. I talked to a lot of football players after the game at Sunrise Mountain, and they said we beat ourselves.
Yes.
And, you know, that they made just simple mistakes that added up in the game. And once they can get around those, they're a force to be reckoned with for sure.
They made mistakes that hurt themselves, but they were also a little bit outgunned in terms of personnel, and that happens too. All right, here's a carry going near side. It's Brady Belts, so he's got that speed. And 7 on the pickup. It'll set up a 2nd and 3.
Good run by Brady Belts there. He does have the speed. He's got the maneuverability. You know, he can get into those small pockets. It was just a barely outstretched arm out there that just got him, just nicked him off. And if they can do a similar thing where he can avoid that, he can see it coming, then who knows how far he'll be able to run it.
Indeed. 2nd and 3. Cherry complete to CJ Handgartner. So CJ picks up 8, number 3, the senior. He didn't have a necktie today, so, you know, I think he's in my 0-hour class along with Nolan Baker. Nolan, shirt and tie, dressed very nicely. CJ dressed very nicely, but no tie. And Nolan's like, where's your tie at? And he's like, oh, I didn't have one. And I was like, oh, dude, I would have brought a tie in for you. So I'll throw that out there too. If you Cats need ties, let me know. I'll bring them in. I mean, I don't know how good my selection is, but I'm certainly willing and able to offer that for you guys if you need a necktie. So 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Handoff goes to Richie McCormick. Richie with some room to go here. Picks up maybe 17 and a 1st down.
Very good run right there. Cienega seems to be going with their useful play of, you know, chipping away. The only problem with that is it's time consuming, and it's hard to tell if Cienega has the time to use this, you know.
We have an injured player down on the field. That's number 2, Connor Reitzman, the junior. So he's being attended to. Now, this, again, looks like we see this early, Liam. We see cramping happen with these players. So it's a combination of not enough hydration, plus it's super hot. Let's just be honest. Like, today's weather felt like being in an oven Oh, I just got a giant grasshopper landing on my clipboard here. Shoo. Go.
I do think Cole McFarland might have just been a cramp because he was holding his leg in the exact place that when you like stretch your leg, you pull a muscle on it. That's the exact place he was holding it.
That's what we're seeing. So I think that's a cramp here. So it's good to see Connor Ratesman. Nice applause here from the Bobcat faithful here. Very polite and sportsmanlike here, clapping for an injured Lancer, walking off on his own accord. Definitely a cramp, right? So we see it with the legs in particular, and it happens, especially early in the season. The later we get, the temperature will kind of be more moderate and cool down, and the players will be also better conditioned. So good to see Connor walking off the field, and he looks to be just fine. Exactly. Also, we had not CJ Handgartner, but Cole McFarland, who also appeared to have a cramp with his left leg. So Cole appears to be fine as well, so that's encouraging. The Cats also appear to have lost River Reese for today, and maybe longer than that, with what we're speculating as a concussion potentially. So hopefully it's not serious. And want to put the best out there to River, his older sister Daisy, and his mother, like a great family. So I just want to send our well wishes out there to River Reese. So penalty marker down on the play. Let's see what this one is. It's great. Bob Bertagnoli, I talked to him at halftime. I was like, hey, Bob. He looked over at me and I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey. And I'm like, yeah, I'm an old lifeguard. I said I was the oldest guard in the city of Tucson. He's like, I'm the oldest lifeguard in the city of Tucson. And I'm like, well, that's true. So good to see him out there. Still an aquatic supervisor with the City of Tucson Parks and Rec. Billy Sassy is still the aquatic director. And the home pool is Catalina. So if you ever want to go swimming in the City of Tucson, it's free right now. So Liam, you may not have known that, but all the City of Tucson pools, it's free admission. They don't want to accept any cash money because they're afraid that it would contract COVID-19 or spread COVID-19. So just putting that out there. We know that you guys have options, like check out your options. If you want to get vaccinated, certainly that's the best way to eradicate COVID-19, but I also understand it's your personal choice, and we have individual freedom in this country. But if you want to wipe out COVID, the vaccine's the fastest way to do so. Pass goes far side, overthrown there. Intended target was Jimmy Diaz. So incomplete. Diaz a couple of catches tonight. Too strong on that one. But Liam, I think at this point with 9:39, the Cats are just trying to just have positive plays. They're trying to build momentum. So many points have to be scored here that with the time on the clock, it would be extremely difficult.
Exactly. I think the penalties in their favor are gonna really be in their favor, you know, because that'll put them ahead in the same amount of time that it would take them maybe, you know, half a minute to do so, and that amount of time is precious.
Braden takes the snap, throwing this one down the field. CJ Handgartner, touchdown. Great catch by CJ Handgartner. 26 yards, and he was in the spin cycle, so it was over his right shoulder, over his left shoulder, made the catch, spun in, touchdown, CJ Handgartner. So it was 23 yards on the touchdown catch.
Bit of a diving catch right there. Very good. That, again, you know, off-speed fastball. That was a good move by them. They, I don't think Salpointe was suspecting that. So that's going to put Cienega ahead. I think what Cienega really needs to look for after the turnover is they need an interception or a similar kind of thing that will turn sides over again quickly into their favor.
That was a great hold by Brady Belts, who is the placeholder, and a nice extra point by Brinley Larenko, the Wonder Woman of Cienega football.
There we go.
So now the scoreboard's going berserk here.
Yes.
So,
but
so it's 30 to 14. 30 to 14.
Exactly.
Cats down by 16. 9:33 on the clock. So it is in the realm of possibility, but they have to play perfect from now to the end of the game, and you have to have some good fortune. So they can try to generate probably an onside kick here would be most likely, right? Or you can try to kick it as deep as you can, maybe a squib in between. So we'll see what they dial up here on the special teams. But we know they have to get the ball back quickly. Whether they do it here on special teams or do it defensively, you got to get the ball back and you've got to score quickly.
What Cienega needs now is just a quick turnover of any kind, that'll benefit them so much.
And 2 touchdowns, not just 2 touchdowns, but 2 two-point conversions on top of that. right? That's how you get 16. But they've got to be perfect on the way out, so let's see what they do. Brindley here, squib kick going down, and the ball goes into the end zone for a touchback. Antonio Martinez just kind of let that one go past. So there's Brindley.
Well, there we go. Cienega may have found its stride, and that we're hoping that will project them right into the a win for this game.
The mindset should be vulture, strip, attack, gang tackle, turnover. Like whatever it takes to get the ball back, that's what you have to do here.
Exactly. Like I said, Cienega's had some pretty good interceptions already this season.
Five on the season as a team.
And we're hoping, and maybe that, they'll extend that number in this game.
Handoff here goes to Anthony Wilhite. Richie McCormick on the tackle. And a gain of 4.
Quick tackle right there. And that, that's what Cienega needs. We need quick tackles, subsequent quick tackles over and over again.
And for Salpointe, right, so you're going to, again, continue to run the football, but they're also going to continue to pass. So they're looking to exploit the defense in the defensive secondary. We have an offsides call going against the Cats. I think that was Dane Wilkinson, 68. Gets a nice tap there from his teammate, Garrett Montgomery. So Garrett, one of those captains. So the 4 captains for the Cats, it's Josiah Parker, Richie McCormick, Cole McFarland, and Garrett Montgomery. And again, Garrett, I saw him earlier this week, and he said something about A+, and I'm like, A+? He's like, yeah. He's like, did you say I have an A+ mullet? And I was like, oh yeah, you do. You and Nolan Baker both have A+ mullets, but also both great defensive linemen trying to apply pressure here in the crunch for the Cats. Spizo Gonzalez here with a sack.
Look, Bourget looking for the classic pocket that he can get into, get at,
right?
And he couldn't really find it there. I saw him. He was moving around. You can see him maneuvering, searching for it. Couldn't get through it.
Well, Trayson has the quick wits and also the legs to get out of trouble if that pocket starts to break down. So if you bring pressure up the middle, he'll probably roll it out left or right, and he can also throw off the run. So 3rd and 3 here, big 3rd down. Hard snap, there's a wild snap here, and a fumble recovered by the Cats. There's the turnover that you needed, and it was Dominic Romero on the fumble recovery. And now the Cats are back in the game, just like that, with 8 minutes on the clock in the 4th quarter.
There we go. That was what we were talking about. It's the classic thing, sort of just the overestimation. Just turnover, just interceptions in order. Let's just do that real quick. And they did it. They were able to actually come through with it and get that turnover.
A wild snap, and no chance there for Trayson. He had to reach up, extend it all the way. It was off his fingertips.
Exactly.
But a great job there in pursuit by Dominic Romero, and the turnover that the Cats needed here to energize this crowd.
Exactly.
So now they're in business at the 13.
I think you can see Salpointe's getting shaken up by Cienega's sort of recovery in this.
I think they thought that this game was wrapped up. Not yet. Cole McFarland up the middle, and he pushes forward there. A rugby scrum down to the 8-yard line.
That was really impressive, actually. He had everybody on every team on top of him, and he stayed up.
Right, pumping the legs, and that O-line there just pushing forward.
Exactly.
So Cats are in business here. 7:48 here, stuck on the clock, and now the clock runs. So 7:47 and counting. The Bobcats have 2 timeouts. Salpointe has 3. Bobcats need a touchdown here, plus a 2-point conversion. Giving themselves a chance here. And again, energizing the crowd. Do the Cats have some of that Bobcat magic? Let's find out. Wind picking up here, going across the screen toward you at home. Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake. Braden to the end zone. Incomplete. Lurking at the back line was Jackson Green, number 5. And Braden had some time there. That defensive end, we've seen Elijah rushing at 6'5" with his outstretched wingspan here, deflecting a couple of passes. He got off his feet a couple of times. Cherry pump fake, that might be part of the package here too, of solving the puzzle. Little pump fake and then firing. Might look for a fade to either corner. Brody Coleman has been a target here in the second half at 6'5". Maybe somebody look for at number 83. Let's see where Brody lines up. Near side at tight end. Cole McFarland at receiver, near side toward us, and a trio of Cats on the top of the screen. Big third down. Cherry back to throw. Under pressure. Steps up in the pocket here. Looks to throw. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Right there.
Cats. Karan Watson. 9 yards on the touchdown strike. A patient strike from Braden Cherry on target to Karan Watson. Pa-pow. The Cats are back in the game just like that.
There we go. Karan Watson, he's the dream team of Cienega tonight. We were talking about Bourget and Wilhite, and they were the dream team for Salpointe in the first half, and now Cherry and Watson have turned that around, and now they've become the stars of the show.
Gritty. What we like to see here, we talk about grit, determination, hard work, and the Cats here not relenting. Right back into this game here, and a big 2-point conversion attempt. 7:07 on the clock. The Cats need 2. Karan Watson just caught the touchdown, 9 yards. He's flanked out to the far side. In the slot next to him is Christian Hawkins. Braden Cherry. Guy goes in motion. It's Gavin Peterson going far side. Cherry rolls to his right. Gavin Peterson ends out. Touchdown! 2-point conversion for the Cats.
There we go.
And we're back in the game.
Just like that, back into it. Cienega, you can tell they're pumped up. There's Mr. Nichols right there.
Yes.
With pumping the crowd up. You could tell. I think Salpointe thought it was over at this point, and now they've turned it around.
Well, it has been electrifying here. The Cats, they had the flicker of a pulse, and now we've got a full pulse and a full heartbeat here, and the crowd is back in the game. 30-22, 7:07 on the clock, and Salpointe is reeling all of a sudden. Things seem to be under control.
They'll be shaken by that, and that may affect their playing. That was an impressive run of plays by Cienega. They were doing the chipping away stuff, and then when Salpointe thought they were comfortable with that, they turned it around, started going for the long stuff, and that brought them back into it.
So remember, just a couple of minutes ago, it was 30-7. Salpointe, 15 unanswered points by the Cats, and they're now back in business. A little bit of catnip here for Cienega High School. Kickoff goes to the near side. Antonio Martinez fields at the 5. Bobcats trying to make a play on special teams, and they're now energized. Yes, indeed. 29 on the tackle, Benjamin Brumfeld. And Salpointe here at their own 20-yard line with 7:02 on the clock in the fourth quarter.
Cienega's morale is high. That's going to improve their playing. You've seen it a million times. Morale gets boosted up just from, energy of the crowd, like impressive plays that are made, and that will project the team right into the win.
Well, I talked to many players in passing today. The message was the same. It will be a battle tonight. You will go through adversity. At some point, things are going to be difficult. You've got to stay together and keep pushing through. The Cats are doing that tonight very impressively. Handoff goes to Wilhite, and there's a stack tackle by Richie McCormick, who drags him down, and he's amped up here.
That is amazing. This is a great example of football right here. Some people think it's just this, challenge of brute strength, but it's really a game of wits at times. Cienega has really shaken these guys up, and they're turning it around.
Listless, lifeless, down on the canvas. The Cats got up, and they are throwing haymakers here. 2nd down and 6. Bourget looks to throw. Plenty of time in the pocket. Now he's going deep here near side. He's got a receiver. Ball's incomplete. Very light coverage there. There was a hand by Gunnar Hernandez. The referee appeared to go to his pocket, but thought better of it. Michael Aguirre was calling for the flag, but lockstep with him was Gunnar Hernandez. Again, light contact, maybe a light hand on the back, but not interference. So now it's 3rd down and 6. 6:21 on the clock. Trayson Bourget going for the whole kit and caboodle, incomplete. So the clock is frozen at 6:21. The big 3rd down here, Nichols is going off the rails, and the crowd is going off the rails as well. The stadium's rocking here at Cienega High School. 3rd and 6, blitz comes from the outside. Cole McFarland, and it's a sack for the Cats. Yes, it is. Cole McFarland on the sack.
So good. I'm so glad that that was not a serious injury and he was able to come back into this game.
It was a blitz. So the star linebacker comes from the outside there, dialed up by Argraves, the defensive wizard here, and a big third down defensive stop by the Cats. So McFarland, remember, he was bloodied earlier with the left elbow, and he got that taped up and attended to. And he's back out there, makes a huge play here late in the fourth quarter. 5:40 on the clock. The Bobcats here trying to put more juice, if we needed more ampage or wattage. Elias Santana back there. Next to him is Christian Hawkins. And here's the punt by Owen Lynch. Elias at the 45. Elias across the 50. Elias center step here. Elias with a block. Nice block, Rich McCormick. Elias weaving his way down the sideline here, down to the 20-yard line. Yes, indeed. A 35-yard punt return by Elias Yaya Santana.
Threading the needle right there on the edge of out of bounds, and the entire Salpointe team runs it all the way through. That blocking line by Cienega was impressive.
A great block down the
way
line.
to the end.
And Elias just threading his way through traffic here, nimbly like the Silver Surfer. Richie McCormick was there leading the way. Ball's at the 20-yard line, and now we've got Queen rocking here.
The stands are
rocking
with this.
Brady Belt's in motion, goes far side, handoff goes Richie McCormick, lowers the shoulder, down to the 15, 5-yard pickup on first down, 2nd and 5.
This is a chance for Cienega. We may have the time to just take advantage of our play that we've been using all night long. Chipping away, big throw, gets it into the end zone.
Well, they've been clicking here in the fourth quarter in particular. Braden Cherry a little bit turbulent early, but now he's finding his rhythm. The confidence is also going through the roof. So 2nd and 6, 4:43 on the clock. Cherry in the pistol. Pitch out here goes to Richie. Oh, it's stacked up here, and maybe a fumble. The ball's down. Let's see how it shakes out. A scrum for the football down on the field, and Salpointe has the ball. So it was number 5, Jackson Green, on a big turnover here by the Cats. Fumbles was something. There were 4 fumbles by the Bobcats coming into the game tonight. They lost all 4. Now we have another fumble here. Still time on the clock. Don't lose faith here, Cat fans. 4:35 on the clock. The Bobcats have 2 timeouts left. The crowd is still amped up and energized here. Can this defense pull one more rabbit out of the hat? 4:35 on the clock. Salpointe 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. But a big fumble recovery by Jackson Green, the junior. And now Trayson looks across the way.
Chanting defense in the stands here. I think Cienega can pull it off. They did it really quick last time.
Well, they're right back in, there's no doubt. Handoff left side, Will Height. Anthony, senior, number 21. And he picks up 5. Makes it 2nd and 5. So 4:20 on the clock and running. Cienega has to be judicious with how they call their timeouts here. Clock management imperative. You want to get the ball back. Ideally a pick 6. That would be the best scenario for Bobcats. But get the ball back here and give that offense one more drive, one more chance, one more flicker of hope. 2nd down and 4. Handoff Will Height. Will Height up the middle, and he's close to a first down. Big hole paved there between the center and left guard. Now the Cats have a couple subbing back in. Josh Savage and Nolan Baker, who have been great here tonight. Out there for their stalwart presence on that defensive front, trying to be disruptive. And again, the whole defense has to be thinking, strip the football and get that pigskin back. Let's get Braden Cherry one more shot with his offense to make some magic happen here in the waning seconds of this contest. 3:20 and counting, fourth quarter. 1st and 10, Salpointe from their own 27-yard line. Trayson Bourget surveys the defense in the pistol. Hard snap, handoff to Will Height. Will Height center steps, loses his footing, and there's the tackle by Richie McCormick. So maybe a yard. 3:04, and there's the first timeout. I like that call. Stop the clock. Now, conversely, it does give Salpointe some time to scheme here, and they could take a shot, play action, and maybe try to throw the ball deep to try to get another score on the board. So the Cats have to be aware, and I think you've got to go all for broke here. Don't be afraid to take some chances. You've got to make something happen. Big second down call here. We'll see what Justin Argraves hatches up here in his defensive mindset. And we'll also see, conversely, what Salpointe's coach Eric Rogers dials up for the Lancers.
I think this was a wide decision by Argraves. This gives him a chance to sort of, tell his players, calm down. We still have a chance at this, and then it gives him a chance to come up with some plays. It was a good decision, I think.
Well, remember, we've got post-game interviews coming up, so I'll tease that one again. Reagan Scott, Neveah Fisher, our super sophomores in Bobcat TV, will be delivering post-game interviews. We'll see how this shakes out. 3:04, second down and 9. The Cats need a play. Bourget, handoff, Wilhite up the middle. Big tackle right there, maybe a yard. Josiah Parker and Spezio Gonzalez converging on the tackle. And now Argraves is going to let some clock go here, and I think that makes sense as well. And I think it's a good call, because if you call a timeout here, it gives Salpointe's offense more time to come up with a play. So no problem here. You've got to preserve as much clock as you can.
Tense in the stands here. There are moments of just dead silence because of how close this game is becoming.
And it's deafening now. The noise from the Bobcat faithful, trying to will that defense for a big play. Wilhite outside, and he's stacked up, and it's Richie McCormick here, kind of doing the blocking drill that you do in spring ball and the beginning of training, where you push those sleds forward. So wrapping and driving here, exactly what you want to see. So the Cats will take over here, or they should take over. It's a 4th down here for Salpointe. You could roll the dice, I suppose, but Salpointe will certainly punt. It'd be extremely risky to try to go for it here. It'd be a brazen call, but now the clock is running, so 1:43 and counting. The Cats could have called a timeout to try to preserve some clock here, but now it's going to be all about clock management. So it'll be pass plays to the outside. If you pick up first downs, the clock will stop momentarily as a chains move forward, and you might maybe spike the football to stop that clock. So the Cats, we'll see how they run their 2-minute offense here, but a timeout now is taken, I think, by Salpointe, right? So Cienega would never let that much time go. So a timeout now taken by Salpointe. They ran as much clock as they could, and they called their first timeout. So they have 2 left. Cienega has 1 timeout. The clock is stuck at 1:20. Remember, Liam, you have Elias Santana, who has the potential to hit a home run on a punt return. And you also have some possibilities where both he and Christian Hawkins can maybe do some sort of a reverse or some kind of a lateral and try to make something happen magically here on the return on the punt.
It's definitely the Salpointe. I think their best idea right now would be to punt, because there's no guarantee that they'll be able to run it, and by punting, that'll just push Cienega further away from their goal, which that's what Salpointe's doing right now. Salpointe's definitely playing for time. As you said, they allowed all the time they thought was wise to go by, and then they called their timeout. And I think that was a good move by them, because it leaves them some time in case they have to get out of a jam. That'll leave them some time, but it'll also take time from Cienega.
Well, Santana, number 2, is the player to watch out for. And you have Christian Hawkins here, who's going to block for him. So Santana drifting to his right and has to drift back. A great punt there by Salpointe's Owen Lynch. So that ball was at the 31.
Now, I don't think Cienega is just going to have to go for the Hail Mary kind of stuff, because they don't have the time to go with the usual play of chipping away. They're going to have to go straight for running play, long pass. They do not have the time for their safe sort of strategic play.
Or a trick play, too. So a 46-yard punt by Owen Lynch. And boy, that was certainly timely for the Lancers, making it difficult here for Cienega. A long field to go down with just 1:17 and a single timeout. I mean, trick plays, I love them. So let's see if there's something like a hook and ladder or something that they can conjure up here. Some sort of alchemy to turn precious metal into gold for the Bobcats. I guess copper, really. Copper and navy. 1st and 10. Cats from their own 23-yard line. And we have a penalty here. Is it an illegal motion? Let's see what the call is. I think it's motion here going against the Bobcats. Let's see what the referee says. Yes, illegal motion against the Bobcats. So Jeff Bell's the referee. And I think these officials have done a good job here tonight. So Jeff Bell is the ref. The umpire is Bob Bertagnoli, who I mentioned earlier tonight. James Sims is the head linesman. God bless you. Matt Kruger is the linesman. And the back judge is BJ Fogeltans. So there's your crew from tonight. Thought they've been superb here. Really solid officiating crew. So it's now 1st down and 15 for the Cats. Do the Cats have one magical play here to get back in this game? Braden Sherry back to throw, cranks it up here. Deep post here, near side.
And he's
what a catch!
What
a
a catch,
spectacular
diving
catch by Jimmy Diaz at the 48-yard line. So 34 yards on the reception, but we've seen Diaz a couple of times tonight, fully extended.
Like
a spectacular reception.
Like I said, they did not have time to go for that, for the chipping away kind of play.
Salpointe here showing blitz. 1st and 10 from the 50. Cherry down the middle. Ball's caught by Handgartner. CJ down to the 30. And he lunges forward for some more. So 18 yards on the catch from Handgartner. CJ a touchdown catch earlier. And now a big one. 52 seconds on the clock. 1 timeout for the Cats. Cienega continues to run. Salpointe's defense is reeling, and they call a timeout just like that. So they call their 2nd timeout. 47 seconds on the clock. Are we in line for a fantastic finish here? Cats down by 8, so they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this. The student section is all up on their feet.
I knew at school today, I knew people were excited. People were talking about it. After every class, I had people coming up to me and be like, "Oh, you going to the game, man?" Yes, I'm commentating it. But
yes.
It was people were definitely excited for this. You know, it was I didn't go to the school last year, and it was amazing to see the contrast. Sports are not as big as at my old school. This school, it's a huge thing. Even for a Copper Navy game, people were asking me. It was like such a bizarre thing to be asked if you're going to the game. They're like, what? Yeah, of course I am, because again, I was commentating. But people, it was like at the old school, it was such a contrast. This school, people really support their sports teams.
Yes,
and it's a big thing.
In the Vail School District, we support our Cats. There's no doubt about it. 1st and 10. McFarland lined up near side here. Cherry goes far side. A little bit too high there. He was trying to target Jimmy Diaz. And Diaz has hops, there's no doubt, but a little bit too high for him. He was trying to go sky high, but even his hops couldn't get to that one, climbing the ladder. So the good news is that no time came off the clock. So 42 seconds. 2nd down and 10 for the Cats. Cherry gets the call from Lewis Nightingale, coaching legend. We have so many legends here in Vail, and I'm just thankful to kind of be part of this mix. Let's just call it like it is. The best seat in the house, the Catbird seat on Bobcat TV. 2nd and 10. McFarland near side. Jimmy Diaz out wide side. And in the slot, you have Brady Belts and CJ Handgartner, who's been on fire here in the 2nd half. Cherry back to throw. Pumps, looks under pressure. Great block there, but a little bit of a deflection there applied by 53, Jace Springer, who has been disruptive. So now it's 3rd down and 10. And 37 seconds on the clock. The clock is less of a factor here because the Cats are in striking distance. You can connect for pay dirt in the end zone on one play. And that's in the realm here. Of course, the Cats in 4-down territory. So you might try to pick up some yardage here and set up a manageable 4th down. But you also, you know, for everybody here with their nerves and jitters, the anxiety level is sky high. You want to pick up a first down. Ideally, a touchdown on this play for the Cats. So here comes Brody Coleman, 83, the big target at 6'5". And the Mighty Might, Brady Belts, comes sprinting off the field. So we're going size here on the package with Brody Coleman. And you might just throw a jump ball for him 10 yards at the stick to try to pick up that first down. He's oversized with his defender, Antonio Martinez, at 5'10". So a 7-inch height advantage for Coleman. Let's see if Cherry goes that way. Cherry back to throw. He's looking for Coleman in the end zone. Coleman in the end zone. There was some shoving there. There was definitely shoving in the end zone, but no call, and it's an interception for Antonio Martinez. There was contact. Coleman was jostled at around the 3, and the referees that were there, no call. Well, it's dejecting, but I have to say I'm so proud of the Cienega team for showing their resiliency, their grit, determination. Now, I think that you can build on this, and it shows something, right? Down 31-7 to claw back into this game and make it all the way, or excuse me, 30-7 to make it all the way to 30-22 with a chance at the end. I think that's all you can ask for. I mean, this team was kind of like down on the canvas, listless and reeling, and to be able to scrap back, to claw back, and pull back in this game is a great testament to their grit, character, and determination, and also that leadership by Coach Hargraves. So the fans will be dejected. The students are starting to hit the exits here, but I'm very proud of this effort here tonight, Liam Guthrie.
Me too. I was thinking right before that happened, I was thinking Cherry would be best to try and induce a running play right there, have them run it down the field, because I was thinking they can't afford an interception at this point in the game.
I'm going to go down to the field. We're going to bring Nick Powell on here, who was our color commentator last week at Buena. So Nick's going to come on here. You guys can kind of chat about how this game kind of progressed. I don't know if you can read my handwriting, Liam, but if you want to take a snapshot of this, this is the scoring summary from tonight. I can't leave this with you because I've got to take it with me. We're going to snag some players here post-game and talk to them. And you guys can try to fill some time here talking about what happened. So stay tuned. Reagan Scott, Neveah Fisher will have post-game interviews. Liam, another great job here tonight. So proud of you guys. You guys are awesome on Bobcat TV. So stay tuned.
Thank you. Well, I'm Liam Guthrie, as was stated, and I'm here. I'm joined with Nicholas Powell. Nick, you've been up here in the press box with me watching. You've been operating our camera. And what do you think about Cienega's performance tonight?
Cienega's performance was pretty outstanding from what I saw. And there's been a lot of incomplete passes, quite a few interceptions. And our defensive line did pretty good today.
I agree. You know, we may have not taken home the victory. And I knew that it was going to be a difficult game for us because Salpointe, I've seen Salpointe play. They play pretty strong. They, you know, they've even against more competitive teams, like Mr. Miller said earlier, even those teams in Phoenix, which have always been a problem for Tucson teams, they've been able to come out of that. But tonight, I'm just proud of Cienega because, like you saw, it was 7-30. There was nobody could have ever thought that we'd come back this far within striking distance of a win.
Yes, it was pretty insane. That two-point conversion that we just had after that touchdown is pretty surreal.
Exactly. I know everyone out there supporting Cienega, you may be sad, you may be dejected, but you got to take it a little bit at a time. You know, you got to take the minor victories, and that comeback against any other team that we've played against this year, we could have, or any year really, that would have been a win for sure. You know, Salpointe, they just got strong. They're just a strong team all around. Bourget and just the whole team they've got stars. They've got future stars on the team.
Yeah, they do. And over there at the end, they kind of a little bit wimped out over there, taking a knee.
Exactly. You know, you have to take the losses. This is a good learning experience. You know, Hargraves first year at Cienega, and I mean, I'm pretty proud of him because that was a good comeback, and I think he really inspires the players. He really inspires the school. I think we're all very proud of him. We're all glad to have him.
Yeah, as you said, this is Coach Argraves' like first actual full year, despite last year. He was still here, but they got a very short season.
Yeah, exactly. We only played 2 games last year.
Yeah.
And that, you know, you can tell that affected us. Do this. Okay. It definitely affected us. You know, we had a good team last year, but we weren't able to use them to their full potential because of COVID. So you know, this may be disappointing, but sometimes you just got to take it. You know, you just got to accept that you can't win every single one, especially so early in the season against such a formidable team. Well, we had some really good plays tonight against Cienega. You know, the Salpointe had some pretty good teams. Brady Belts with some good running. Karan Watson, several complete passes, and I think that those passes may not have been complete if they weren't thrown to him. He had several jumping plays, several near diving plays, several almost like a few inches off the ground catches. He's got sticky fingers for sure.
Yeah, and as you were saying about that, Cherry had a pretty good pass earlier when it was 4th and long, around a 40-yard catch. Almost got a touchdown on that too.
Exactly. Cherry, like me and Mr. Wimmer were saying, he's like a classic car. You have to sort of, in the wintertime, you have to let it warm up before you start it. And that's what happened with him. We let him warm up, and he actually was able to come into his own and start running the ball. His passes were like a laser beam at points. It was just it's all around impressive.
Yes, it was very impressive today. Now we will conduct a post-game interview with Josh Consave and a couple other players momentarily.
It's a plague walking up and down these steps.
Yeah, I got it.
That's the wobbly one that falls.
Yeah.
Salpointe Catholic. Trayson, what was going on in your mind these past few minutes of the game since Cienega did have a big comeback? I mean, you guys, it was an awesome win for you guys, but what was going on in your head?
You know, try to trust my teammates and coaches to put us in the best position to win. Had to trust our defense, you know, battle it out, get a big stop. You know, ended up getting an interception right there, which sealed the win.
Awesome. You said you were playing football for how long?
I started flag football when I was about 4 and then put on the pads when I was 12.
Awesome. And then, I mean, you are one of the best. Like, was there any doubts in your mind coming into the game? I mean, like, anything that you were worried about at all, like playing Cienega again?
You know, coming into the game, you know, Salpointe has been 0-5 the last 5 games, and I'm currently, you know, or I was 0-2 against Cienega, you know, starting off my freshman year at Marana. But, you know, I ended that streak, and we started a new one, 1-0.
Awesome, awesome. And you've been on varsity since you were a freshman?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. You guys did great. And good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Tracy, thank you. Best of luck. Take care. Very good. All right. Josh for you.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else you want to talk to?
I don't know. Who else do you think?
Well, I'm Liam Guthrie. Thank you for joining us at Bobcat TV tonight. Be sure to tune in for our next broadcast this Tuesday as Cienega Girls Volleyball takes on Salpointe Catholic. Match time is 6 o'clock. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Nick Irvin, Ryan Marsh, Hunter Alexander, Nick Powell, Zita Neo, Neveah Fisher, Reagan Scott, Lucas Myers, Jason Miller. Once again, I'm Liam Guthrie. This has been Bobcat TV. Thank you for joining us.
Do we know where Josh is? Yeah.
He's already in.
He's already in? Josh is already